Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building, hopefully with good internet connection today. Let's
Hey.
fingers crossed, bro.
You're looking very stable and sexy, just like my rock, bro. You are my rock. How are we doing, everybody? By the way, it's good to see everyone after a week away. I've just returned from Bali. And if you notice, Mr. Young is a little bit low energy today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a chill ASMR podcast today,
Yeah, bro. Why all of a sudden got funny accent, bro? Why,
I do not know why.
Why do you go all like that?
I think maybe it's because of the character. I feel I need to be a character today because of our guest today.
Maybe. It's good to see everybody, by the way. Edison, hello, Irvin, Rishi. Fahan, not in Mr. Young building, not today, because we also have a very special guest we're going to chat with in just a little while here on the show. But my bro, are you doing all right? Man, you know, it's been a week. Actually, no, it's been 2 weeks, right? I haven't seen you.
Yeah, miss you, man. I mean, since the last time we saw you you were in Bali for what, 9 days? 9 days of you doing acro yoga.
So okay lah, only 3 days of acro yoga. The rest of it was taking in the sights. And then after that, well, you know, if you follow my stream or if you see my Instagram, the Bali belly, that shit is real, bro.
Well, wait, bro. So the last couple of days you were already down with this situation.
Yeah, okay, we'll talk about this situation a little bit later on because I want to get to our special guest here today joining us on the show because this weekend will be a very special show, a 2-day event in local wrestling. Say hello, everybody. Boom, we got the Eurasian Dragon in the house.
What's up?
Okay, Eurasian Dragon, are you muted on your side, actually?
Or did you mute him, Mr. Young?
I was muted. I was
there
muted.
You go. It's good to see you, man. How are you doing?
I've been really, really busy, man. I think this is like the record-breaking amount of time that someone's been on your podcast again.
I think so.
I lost track, bro. At least 5 times, bro.
Like cumulative hours, I think you have the record, man.
Yeah, man. At least one appearance a season, I feel.
Yeah. I'm always here to sell you guys something, or rather, I'm always here to sell the fans of Singapore something. So, like, like today we're here to talk about Dragon Gate in Singapore. So, like, thanks for having me on your podcast, Young and Fahan. Really good to see you, man.
Absolutely, always a pleasure to have you here to talk about wrestling. And this just means, right, the Singapore wrestling scene is super vibrant, super hot. I feel like this year has been one of the most active years in recent history. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, there's like a show like every month or something from a different brand. So like 1 month you got SPW, GrappleMAX, and now you got Ring of Rebirth and Dragon Gate. So like, it's pretty crazy, man. And then just in time for WrestleMania season 2. So like, that's what we're trying to like catch the wave on as well.
Guys in the chat, if you've never seen live Singapore wrestling, and not just local wrestling because there are a lot of wrestlers from the region come down, please, you owe it to yourself as a wrestling fan to go check out the product live, especially you get to know some of our local wrestlers who are just the best people because they're truly doing it for the love of the sport, right?
It's the life we chose,
Oh, that's deep, man. You know what? The one thing that caught my eye, especially about this upcoming event, bro. Tell us how did this partnership come about, bro? Dragon Gate, that's a big deal, especially for Japanese wrestling fans. We all know Dragon Gate, so like, how did that come about?
Yeah, so just to extend on what you said, in Japan, of course, you've got like the whole New Japan being like the top wrestling company there, but Dragon Gate is easily like number 2 in terms of like live attendances and the amount of shows they do. Dragon Gate runs shows like a few times a week, and it's very humbling that they actually came to find us, which we are technically the smallest promotion in the whole of Southeast Asia, but they wanted to collaborate with us. So it was quite surprising, humbling, and exciting at the same time. How did this come about? Actually, if you trace back history just a little bit, last year, Ring of Rebirth, what we started off with was like taping 5 episodes in the dojo setting, and we told like a little introductory story about our wrestlers, about our company, so on and so forth. And we had guest wrestlers every show. So on our second taping at Ring of Rebirth Vice, we had Dragon Gate's Ho Ho Lun with us on the show. If you all recall, he was in the main event against the local wrestlers and all that. And I guess somehow along the way, Ho Ho was quite happy with how the Ring of Rebirth organization was our vision, our where we want to go, how we run things. He was pretty happy with that. And then I guess, sometimes like you work with someone from overseas, then they go home, they tell their boss, then their boss like interested to find out more, then you meet their boss, but also through a Skype call. And then after that, the boss say, okay, let's do it lah. Let's do like this Dragon Gate coming to Singapore thing lah. So it's not the first time Dragon Gate has come to Singapore, but in the past they come in batches. Maybe you see like one guy, two guys, here and there. But this is the first time they are coming down officially under their banner as well. So this is a co-production with Dragon Gate Wrestling. So so basically after the whole ROR tapings and all that, we met Ho Ho Lun in a Starbucks in Chinatown. I still remember it very clearly. And I was like, bro, why do you always live in Chinatown, bro, when you're here? And then he said he's got his reasons. Okay, never mind. So I met him in Chinatown in the Starbucks. Yeah. He bought me coffee. And then he got to talking about this potential partnership and then this event. Initially, I thought it was going to be a one-day event, but Dragon Gate was ambitious. They wanted to do a two-day event, which forced us to become ambitious as well to book a venue for 2 days. And here we go. We have like a weekend of pro wrestling coming up. Friday, Saturday, Dragon Gate versus Singapore All-Stars. Nice. So a lot of stuff just fell into place. Yeah, we figured that this Singapore All-Stars thing is also coming hot after the heels of I think 2022. We've seen Butcherman go into GrappleMAX. We've seen me go into SPW or the SPWX. They had the 3 promotion match, which I was a part of. And it's very exciting because I think the time is now where, we are all starting to collaborate. And this will be the first time that you also see a Singapore All-Star team featuring champions from both promotions, top wrestlers from both promotions, and our students from Ring of Rebirth along with me, all under the same roof in the same team, taking on the Japanese wrestler. So it's really, really exciting. It's never been done before, and hopefully it's going to be done again and again. I wouldn't want to say it's never going to be done again, because that would be selfish of us to just do a one and done.
I think the idea of promotion versus promotion, country versus country is always one of those fun things, right? It sells itself sort of a thing. But at the genesis of this whole idea of the event, was it always going to be promotion versus promotion versus Singapore? Or was there an idea at first where it might have been just a few of the wrestlers come down and then, you have some local talent face off against each other as well?
I think in the not so distant history, ever since WWE had their brand split with Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, every wrestling fan knows that that's the novelty. When you have a cross brand match, even until today, as we approach WrestleMania season, you see the Raw and SmackDown guys doing cross promotion stuff. So it was always intended to be a cross promotional thing. So you will see GrappleMAX versus ROR, SPW versus GrappleMAX match, and then you also got the Japanese versus Singapore matches or Japan versus Japan matches. So this is what we were going to go for all the way from the start. We wanted to set up an event where you can't find matches like this on the regular. So this is something really, really special that we are working towards. So definitely we always wanted to go with interesting, never before seen matches. I think out of every match on this 2 days card, only one match is a repeat match, and that's also because it's a grudge match. Showtime Inc. versus Team ROR, so that's a repeat from the last event. And Showtime Inc. has been defeating every ROR wrestler because they are no longer Prabhu and all that. So hopefully this time my guys can beat them lah. It's a bit embarrassing to see them always. That's the only repeat match, but every other match is fresh. It's a first time ever match, and we really want to give this special treat to Singapore fans as well as the Japanese fans who are flying in from Japan, because we have about 15 people flying from Japan, just fans, just to watch the show.
Can I confirm something as well? I heard over the grapevine. I mean, you can confirm nor deny this, right? That this event won't just be a recorded thing. It might actually even air in Japan. Is that something that will actually happen?
This event is going to air on the Dragon Gate network. So that's also massive, because I've been wrestling for years in the smaller independent scene. And even for me as a pro wrestler and as a promoter and as a coach, it's my first time wrestling on a streaming service. You know, like we always see like they got Impact Plus, WWE Network, Dragon Gate Network. So like it's really amazing that and I'm not just doing it alone. I'm doing it with people who I came up in the business with, like The Statement or like Big Dave or what have you not, as well as my students as well. So like it's really interesting. Like, I was just talking to my students the other day, like, hey, you guys have been in the business for like 1 year, and we are doing this together. Like someone who is 11 years, we are all going to appear on the Dragon Gate Network together. So yeah, how to watch this event in the event that you cannot make it on Friday and Saturday. Although I really hope all of you listening can come on Friday and Saturday. Is you got to subscribe to the Dragon Gate Network.
It's an app.
Very easy to find.
Website?
It's a streaming service. It's like an app. You can watch it on your computer, PlayStation, TV, and all that. So you got to subscribe to the Dragon Gate Network. It's about $10, give or take, depending on the conversion rate. And then these 2 days will be streamed on a tape delay. So it's not going to be live stream. But I think most wrestling fans are familiar with how the WWE Network works, and then how sometimes they have like certain unique shows like a UK show or Wembley Scotland show, and then they'll put it in a different category. So this is one of the things that Dragon Gate has been looking to do, or they've always been looking to do this actually. They're always pretty big on international excursions, international exchanges, and this just happens to be the next phase of their international excursion. And I'm really honored to be the guy on the ground here in Singapore helping them do this alongside our top guys.
Yeah, quick question. So, like, is the Japanese promotion lending some of their production expertise to help kind of film the event? Do they have like their crew as well filming it?
Right. So this is a very interesting question that you asked, because we all know wrestling is not just like about the matches bell to bell, but there's so much work that goes into it, especially in a young wrestling nation like Singapore, where it's still not mainstream and it's still an uphill struggle. So a lot of back and forth between me and Dragon Gate boss, and with Ho Ho Lun as our middleman and all that. So production-wise, no, they are outsourcing it to us, or they're outsourcing it to a local producer, a local production team. So, but the footage will be sent to them, and then they will distribute it on their channels. And then on our channels, we also have an agreement to distribute some of it. So just stay tuned to both Dragon Gate Network and the Ring of Rebirth, like YouTube or social media stuff, because we will like announce like what is going to be previewed or what is going to be shown after this event.
Nice. Okay, let's jump into some. Before we jump into the highlights and some of the exciting must-see matches, I want to very quickly mention, because I've been seeing your interactions with the comedian Jackie on Instagram. I have to say, man, it is some of the most. I don't want to say mean-spirited, but entertaining stuff that I've seen in local wrestling in a while. Like just the way you just give him such shit. Like okay, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been a little bit out of it for the past week, right? But there was some sort of an opening or something, and then you all of a sudden just like showed up and just disturbed him. What was that whole setup all about?
So Jackie has this show called Jackie and Friends. It's every Thursday. 3 times I have showed up to Jackie and Friends. The first time was the Jackie and Friends that was on the Ring of Rebirth show, the one I broke his hand.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, our energy drink sponsor, Sweet Energy, they gave him free energy drinks and his hand healed miraculously. Then subsequently, I went to Jackie and Friends, the last Jackie and Friends of the year, last year. Showed up at the end, smashed a beer bottle on his head. He was lying in a pool of blood. His girlfriend was crying and all that, which is why his girlfriend fought me at the last Ring of Rebirth show. His girlfriend is a local Muay Thai fighter, but she lost lah. Because we know that if you put Muay Thai versus pro wrestling in a match, right? Pro wrestling gonna win.
Sure.
Pro wrestling, we know how to do so many other things, I could like break your eyes, I could smash you into the turnbuckle. All these other sports, they don't teach you how to like take on the turnbuckle or use the ropes to your advantage. So easily I defeated his girlfriend. Then the most recent one, that was Jackie Ng's birthday show, his Jackie and Friends birthday show. So you had like all his famous friends in the house, all this Fakafas and Rishi Budrani and all that.
Yeah.
And the moment Rishi Budrani saw me, right, he knew to stay away already. He said, I went into your business, going in again. I said, you should stay that way, man. You should stay that way. like close to our industry. Yeah. So true enough, at the end of that event, Jackie was celebrating his birthday. A silly girlfriend of his and his music man, they were passing him a cake. And then I came through the shutters, you see.
Yeah.
I came through the shutters and then I smashed the cake in his face. And then the girlfriend chased me away, and then I just accused her and him of causing me mental stress. And then there's no need, I think you guys know that it's on my social media. I'm a new dad. I have a newborn daughter.
Congratulations, man.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you so much. So Jackie and his girlfriend Caramel Prata, they run this bakery thing, like a weekend bakery thing, where they bake cookies called Almost Sweet. And then they had the audacity to send cookies to my baby's first full month shower. So I've talked about this in the promo videos on the ROR Dragon Gate build-up. I've talked about it on my Instagram also. I said that I was fully convinced that they were trying to poison my entire family and my baby. So I took all the... I ate it all. I ate it all to protect the country from such poison. And not only that, because we have like different food vendors at this event on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Jackie and the girlfriend, unfortunately, are selling cookies at the event as well. So I want to urge all of you listeners or all of you viewers who are coming to the event, right? Please buy all their cookies, right? Then you eat the cookies. And if you fall sick from the cookies, you tell me. We all complain NEA together. Then we'll put them out. Just eat every single cookie. Buy it all. You cannot finish. Never mind, give me. I will eat it because I will be tired after 2 days. Then we eat it all together. Then we got like Bali belly or what, right? We all straight go and NEA. Yeah.
Bro, this is the best backhanded promotion of a sponsor I've ever had.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about he is speaking from the heart, bro? What are you talking about?
But respect.
The only reason why he gets to sell cookies at my show is because he, at the last Ring of Rebirth show, the New Year one, because I took my paternity leave and then there was no handover process. So he just took over as the boss. Me also, I realized the best way to tekan someone, right, is to let them run a wrestling company because it's damn fucking hard to run a wrestling company. So Jackie has been trying to run the company the past couple of months. He's been doing a shit job. Like all this Dragon Gate thing is because of me. So on day 2, on March 11, right, there'll finally be me versus Jackie Young one-on-one. It's a celebrity match. But personally, guys, I hate all the celebrity matches. I hate it when they come to our business and try to make a mockery. So if you guys, I put aside the complimentary media passes for you guys. So I hope you all get entertained when I throw Jackie Young from one end of the lawn road to the other.
Can I just say that I don't know what it is about those skits, but I mean those those things that happen, right? But it really reminded me of the golden era of wrestling, where you would have random, like a Jerry Lawler showing up on Andy Kaufman's show, or you know what I mean? And I really I appreciated it because I feel like we don't see too much of it these days. Not, nowadays we got wrestlers showing up on Jimmy Kimmel, everyone's being nice, making jokes, everyone's having fun, that kind of thing. But it's like you don't get to see like these, like the heels go out there, for lack of a better term, and do what they do.
Exactly. I don't understand why you can afford to be so nasty on Monday Night Raw, right? But the moment you appear on Jimmy Kimmel, you're this guy. It doesn't make sense to me, lah.
Yeah.
For me, I have not been a nice guy for 1.5 years already, and I don't intend to suddenly become a nice guy, lah.
Right.
The only reason why I'm nice to the two of y'all is because y'all have been nice to me, lah. So I'm very conditional this way. Y'all are helping me sell tickets and all that. So of course I'm nice to y'all, lah. But if Jackie wants to bake cookies for my family, all that, I don't appreciate such things, lah. Personally, lah.
Yeah. I put this across to you before, bro. We've seen Rishi on GrappleMAX. Now we've seen Jackie on ROR. When are you guys gonna beat up Fakafas? That's my main question, bro.
Walao, why you like this?
I spoke to him the other day, and then he was telling me about how, because he does catch local wrestling here and there, and then
he is a wrestling fan. He's a known wrestling fan. We've been trying to
get wrestling fan. Yeah. So he was telling me, what's this? It'll be really cool if I beat up Jackie and all that. But just don't beat him up bad enough that he cannot record the More Better podcast, lah.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I'm indebted to Faz as an old friend or what, but we see how it goes. If Faz is unhappy that I send Jackie to the More Better podcast in shambles, then he can always take it up with me. I know he trains in BJJ and all that. But like I said, pro wrestling against any other sport, right? Against football, BJJ, volleyball, basketball, the amateur wrestling, all that, we will confirm win one. Not pro wrestling, we got all these other smart ways of winning a match, right? Confirm win.
BJJ, you can't counter a steel chair shot to the face. So.
When Sodic is not looking and I punch someone in the balls, right? How are they going to counter that? Like, guys, we know why it's like to hit the balls.
Sure.
No crazy for this. So so that's the whole Jackie thing. That is one of the headline matches of day 2. And then before we go back into the matches, I'll just quickly go over the vendors also. So not only are they selling cookies there, but we got Taco Mantra returning. Taco Mantra has been selling tacos at SPW shows.
Takoyakis, right?
So it's pretty nice. But the thing is, the owner of Taco Mantra, Elijah, he was actually my friend before he was SPW's friend. So I told him sell tacos at my show as well. Because if not, I've been appearing at random places, beating up random people. So I think there's a fear in the community. They never know where I'm going to pop up next and attack you at your workplace. So Elijah's like, okay. I was like, Elijah, you're going to pay this much for the rental to help my production costs. And he was like, okay, bro, I'm signing the agreement. So he's selling tacos. And then we're still in talks on getting in a drink supplier. Hopefully that's all settled soon, because if it doesn't settle soon, I'll get more headache. And we have a very special treat. We have Mr. Meha Singh, the local wrestling legend from the 1970s heyday of Singapore Gay World Wrestling.
Wow.
Meha Singh will be present at the event as well. He'll be selling old merchandise, old magazines from the 60s and 70s that cannot be found anymore. So I really... Yeah, and it's not every day you get to talk to someone who was from that previous generation of pro wrestlers in Singapore, because I think there was a bit of a generational gap, especially between Meha's time and Andrew Tang's time. So this is a wonderful way to connect the generation. So that's all the vendors. I think we talked about the background of the event. We talked about my rivalry with Jackie, but now we can talk about the meat of the story, about the Dragon Gate and Singapore matches.
All right.
So let's talk about some of the big matches. What to you really stands out as from day 1, day 2? What really jumps out?
So on day 2, right? Dragon Gate. Just to give an overview in case any of the viewers here are hearing about them for the first time or you haven't sought them out. It's a hybrid wrestling promotion. They have elements of not just Puroresu in Japan, but because they are one of the founding members, the Ultimo Dragon, he lives and trains in Mexico, right? So there is a lucha libre style as well, and in addition to that, there's also the sports entertainment storytelling aspect where basically the entire Dragon Gate storyline is like an anime storyline. It's long running for years. This guy don't like this guy. I jump to this group because I can't stand you. I sacrifice you instead of me because I pissed off with you, or I don't want you to advance further than me, which is great. So there's a lot of drama to it, which is why like you want to get full access to that, go to the Dragon Gate network. Because if you go to Dragon Gate YouTube, you only get access to like opening matches per event or the first 2 matches. But apart from that, the big headline match on day 2, the big main event on day 2 is a never before seen in Singapore Dragon Gate trio style match. So just to share a little bit of a difference between the trios you see in American wrestling, which Singapore wrestling is a byproduct of, and the trios you see in Mexican wrestling, it's a lot more fast-paced in the Mexican lucha libre or the lucha resu style, because you don't need tag, right? You don't need to tag when you go out of the ring. So imagine I throw you out of the ring. Your partner can just come in and start fighting already. So one guy dive out, right? Another guy can come in and then start fighting. So it's a very different hybrid wrestling style, and this will be the main event of day 2. It features all 6 of the Dragon Gate wrestlers going against each other in a 6-man tag. So that's going to be really exciting for local fans to see. Then on day 2, another big match will be, for the first time ever, we have Big Dave having his second title defense. I think he defended against Wonder Boy recently at the GrappleMAX. So he's having his second title defense against Singapore's greatest delivery rider, Ahmad Arif. And it's quite funny because like even us as the promoters, when we were brokering this deal with Dragon Gate and GrappleMAX, we were like, so who do we send to be the number 1 contender there? And then we were thinking between Urfi and Ahmad Arif, but then me and the other like partners, we were like, yeah, Ahmad Arif a bit more big size lah. Maybe he can have a bit more chance against Big Dave, because right now we all know for a fact lah, nobody is beating Big Dave like yesterday, today, in the future. Because he's on a dominant role.
Yeah.
And then we look at our roster where we see who is the one that can at least give him some choke, some fight.
Yeah.
We thought Ahmad Arif lah. But if you guys are fans of Brock Lesnar style matches and all that, I'm not saying this because I don't like Ahmad Arif. I think Ahmad Arif is a fantastic performer. He has 2 wins over me. Lucky wins. But I think when you're going up against someone in the prime of his career like Big Dave, and Big Dave's openweight titles on the line, you're going to see a very ferocious side of Big Dave come out against our poor delivery rider lah. I think we just rate him 5-star for his service lah. So at least,
Yeah.
Hey, so then the question is, why didn't the Eurasian Dragon take up the challenge and maybe challenge for that title?
I would have loved to. I would have loved to, but day 2 is the day I settle things with Jackie Ng lah. One-on-one with Jackie Ng. So I would always love to challenge for any other title. Again, I think just last year I wrestled for the Southeast Asian title. Unfortunately, I didn't win. Andrew Tang cheated lah. He always finds a way lah. So yeah, if I could wrestle for the Southeast Asian title last year, like this year, I think any titles are not off limits. I wrestled for the Vietnam title last year as well, but unfortunately also I lost lah. I wasn't having a very good year lah, admittedly, but this year is my year lah. So anyway. I'm fighting Jackie. That's why I can't take on Big Dave for the belt. Because
there you go.
I think it's also good. It's also good for the GrappleMAX ROR relations, because if GrappleMAX saw that Eurasian Dragon was going to fight Big Dave for the belt, right, then I think they would have been very worried lah. So we gave him Ahmad instead. It's like sometimes you go to work today, your boss give you maybe a half day off and all that lah.
Yeah.
Bro, we're still hoping lah. We're hoping for miracle lah. We're hoping Ahmad Arif does something, but man, I'm his coach also lah. I'm not really buying it lah. All the best lah, Ahmad Arif.
Bro,
Hey, poor guy, getting thrown under the bus on the podcast,
Another great backhanded compliment.
I know.
But this time to your student. No, I got a good question. It reminds me, because you're talking about challenging for titles, right? Of course, SPW has their Southeast Asian title, their Singapore title, and now GrappleMAX just debuted their own title, openweight. Can we see ROR eventually having their own championship within your promotion?
I mean, logically yes lah. But whether I want to introduce the title or not is another question. Because running a wrestling promotion is a lot of mathematics, man. It's a lot of jigsaw puzzles. So if the narrative and the story and the production is going away as with the need for a title, then definitely. Right now, our roster is expanding, so definitely there is more credence to having a title. And our international friends, as well as our inter-promotional friends from the other 2 companies in Singapore, it's all widening. So yeah, we would eventually love to have a ROR title that people can fight for, that Ahmad Arif maybe stands a slightly better chance of winning lah. But same thing lah. I mean, if I am in the ROR title tournament, right, then very unfortunately that I'll carry on the trend of the promoter winning the belt as well. The odds will be in my favor. But let's get to that another time.
Talking about
matches, right?
Right. Talking about champions, right? So I'm looking at the match card right now, and this one definitely caught my eye. It's a 6-man tag. I think this is for on day 1. You have 3 representatives from Dragon Gate versus...
That's my match, yeah.
Yeah, you're in this one, right? So Eurasian Dragon, Aiden Rex, and Big Dave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about this one, because you have the 3, I guess, figureheads at this point of the 3 different Singapore promotions in one team.
Yes.
Can this even work?
This is a bopian situation lah. When you are in school, you have to do group work, right? Then you always see which one is the best one to do work for you and all that. So very strategic, because if you look at the match card and you see Yuki Yoshioka, and you see Madoka Kikuta, the 2 of them just won Rey de Parejas, which is the tag league, the World Tag League for Dragon Gate. They just won it a few days ago, and they are also currently the Dragon Gate trios tag team champions lah. So they are tag team specialists, the 2 of them. Ho Ho Lun, he's just there lah. I mean, Ho Ho Lun himself is in fear of his life when it comes to me. That's why he put himself with 2 strong guys and all that. I've wrestled Ho Ho Lun many times over the 10 years. The wins and losses, usually he wins, but he always gets lucky. But the times he loses badly, man, badly.
Right,
I beat him in Philippines in front of Maria Ozawa before and all that. So that's another story. Yeah.
Wait,
That's
who
another
is
story. About that.
guys? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Can you all explain? Because I'm very innocent boy.
Bro, why are we skiving over this topic? Why is this Maria Ozawa watching a wrestling
I was
show?
a guest star in a wrestling event in the Philippines where Ho Ho Lun and I were in the main event, and I won that main event too. And then I took a photo with Maria Ozawa after that.
Is she some kind of actress or something?
She's an actress. She's an actress. Yeah.
Well-known idol.
Have I seen any of her works? Do you reckon?
I'm sure at some point lah. But maybe you didn't know it was her. What? It depends lah. This kind of things depends on the algorithm.
Okay.
So anyway, back
to the match. Back to the match.
Yeah, they are known as D Courage, D apostrophe Courage. The two of them. So they are young wrestlers, but they're also very skilled. Yuki Yoshioka is actually a former Dragon Gate champion also, even at his young age and all that. So when Dragon Gate wanted to present this match against the Singapore champions, so of course they picked Aiden Rex, who is the SPW Southeast Asian champion. They picked Big Dave, who was the champion, and they picked me because like I'm the closest thing to a champion Ring of Rebirth has now, unfortunately. Okay. But for me, I was overjoyed because let's face it, I've been on paternity leave for the past 1 month, 2 months, or rather I'm taking care of a baby all the time. I don't have that much time to train. I don't have much time to go to the gym and all that for now. So I've been organizing the show. I spend a lot more time doing the organizational matters of the show than the wrestling matters. So it's really a matter of group work, Like you pick the two most talented guys come into your group. I'll just be the group leader. I'll present all their work. I'll take success as my own, and then the two of them will do all the hard work. Anyway, they're both soft-spoken, right? Not as if they can speak up for themselves. So after the match finishes, when we win, right, when we pin Ho Ho or any of the two tag team champions, right, I will celebrate the most, and then I'll also take the microphone and I will say that I can go after any tag team championship in the region, because if I can beat the Dragon Gate tag team champions, right, mathematically I can fight for any tag team championship anywhere. So this is what I'm gonna do on day one, aiming to win the match and then become a tag team specialist again.
All right, amazing, man, amazing. I wanted to ask you as well, can you share with us some of the cross promotional matches between the local stars and the Japanese wrestlers? Which one is the one that the fans should be most excited about? Talk to me about Urfi's match and DJ Carl, all those matches.
So DJ Carl is going up against one of the uncles of Dragon Gate, Susumu Mochizuki. So Susumu Mochizuki has been wrestling since the time, I don't know, man, since before I got pubic hair, I think he wrestling. So if I didn't have pubic hair, DJ Carl confirmed didn't have pubic hair, because DJ Carl younger than me, a year or two. So this guy has been around. He wrestled around the world, Mexico, America. He's wrestled all the greats from Dragon Gate, those that have passed on, not passed on dead, but have moved on to bigger and better things and all that. So it's interesting because I think in my eyes, DJ Carl is a future great of Singapore. At least that's how I see it. I've worked with him on Ring of Rebirth shows. I've seen his quality. But sometimes, in order to be a future great, to reach that status, right, you need to go through people who are already great. Yeah. So it's one of those cases where you sabo your friends they'll ask, okay, who want to play football against the top scorer in the school? Then you just say, oh, this guy, that kind of thing. The fella got talent. He can somehow take it, but he gonna cannot whack also. So DJ Carl messaged me the other day. He said he very scared. I said, what are you scared of, bro? You already won the Marina Bay Slam and all that. He said, no, Japanese wrestler, all very scary. I said, then deal with it Your promotion is a Japanese style promotion, right? Yeah. So I think DJ Carl is going to try his best, but I also think for fun, right, we're going to see Susumu Mochizuki really whip him around, man. Whip his hair back and top. He's a DJ, right? They play his kind of music.
And the crazy thing is, that is his first night. Second night, he's going up against the Statement, Andrew Tang.
No, but it must be like that one, because for people who don't know, DJ Carl and I are friends. We've been friends from before we started wrestling. He's my friend from poly. He's my poly classmate.
Oh, wow.
That's why when I started my promotion, I booked him and all that, because this is clearly nepotism, where I booked him for the promotion, put him in the main event against Ho Ho Lun and all that. And then now, to repay the nepotism I showed him, and also to be fair to his GrappleMAX side, we put him in 2 big matches. And then we see what shape he goes back in, back to GrappleMAX. Because Susumu is going to take it out of him.
Yeah.
And statement Andrew Tang, we all know what he's capable of. I tell you, this DJ Carl, right, if he walks out of Ceylon Road, if he walks out of Eurasian House in one piece, I'll be damn surprised. But we got medics on hand, it's specifically for people like DJ Carl. So, Carl, if you're watching this, you're my friend, you always been my friend, but sometimes friends need to play pranks on each other. So this is very expensive prank. Because the Japanese wrestler and Andrew Tang are not cheap, So these are very expensive pranks for me as your friend to play on you. So do a good job, Do a good job. Do what you can, Try to walk it out in one piece.
Find a friend that is willing to pay money to see you get beat up.
Yeah.
It's a true friend.
Yeah. It's life, It's fun, It's a good laugh. Then his career gets advanced. One day when he looks back and says, I'm an all-time great in Singapore. He can say that, Eurasian Dragon was there and he's the one that pushed him to that next level during the Dragon Gate weekend. Yeah.
To be honest, actually, this is one of his biggest nights in his career, in wrestling career. So,
in his life, because I've known him for a portion of his life, right? In his life, I know his personal life. I know him in and out. It's his biggest night of his life, biggest weekend of his life. We all need to be there to show him some moral support because very tough times for him.
Talk to us about this match I'm looking at right now. We got the Horrors, who are obviously a very strong local favorite, right? Fan favorite, versus Yamato and Dragon Kid. I'm not familiar with them. Can you tell me a bit more about Yamato and Dragon Kid?
Sure. So, everything I said about Susumu Mochizuki, right, is everything I will say about Yamato and Dragon Kid also. Dragon Kid is 47 years old, but according to Ho Ho Lun, he's fitter than most 20-plus-year-olds.
Wow.
At his age, he's still doing crazy acrobatic stuff that some of us can only dream of doing. Yamato also is a multi-time Dragon Gate champion. He's one of the cornerstones of Dragon Gate for the past 20 years and all that. And then we get the Horrors coming in, right? And the Horrors are perhaps, I would say, they are closer to greatness than where DJ Carl is. So DJ Carl is reaching there, but the Horrors, you got guys who are former Singapore champions, former Southeast Asia tag team champions. If you guys watch SPWX, they had an amazing match with the Drunken Kings, the Calamari Drunken Kings on night one. Unfortunately, they came really close. I was on that show and I was watching from the audience as well. And I was shocked that the Horrors lost because that's how good they have become when you think that they are expected to beat Masahiro Takanashi and Chris Brooks, you see. And I felt that from a promoter standpoint, if there's anyone that's going to beat Dragon Kid and Yamato in a tag team situation in the whole of Singapore, I would say it's the Horrors.
Nice. Okay.
Right. I mean, Showtime Inc., I like them, but Showtime Inc., I'm getting them to do other stuff for me on this show, which I'll get to that in a while. And the other tag team in Singapore, the Aussie, that one, I think maybe they wait for 2024 Dragon Gate show, the next one, because they still need to make stuff. But the Horrors, they are primed right now, right here, right now. They are ready to defeat the two Dragon Gate guys. If you ask me who's going to win, right, I would say like Butcher and Dr. God, they are in their early 30s. I'm not sure how old Butcher is. He says he's been there from 1,000 years ago and all that. So, but yeah, basically, these guys can beat the two strong Dragon Gate legends.
Nice. All right. Okay, so talk to us about the Urfi's match, because I'm actually curious to see how he will do. Because of course he's one of your biggest high potential, high ceiling trainees in your company, right? So how is he gonna be doing?
Urfi, he's very interesting character. He's bisexual and he's a wrestler and he's smaller than everyone else. So it's, not your typical kind of pro wrestler, but somehow, some way, through real grit and hard work and determination, he is probably the second best guy in ROR somehow. So yeah, Urfi has a big weekend ahead because he and Ahmad Arif have to team up against Showtime Inc. on day one. I have tasked them with trying to beat Showtime Inc. again, but Showtime Inc. keeps winning, and then I keep bringing Showtime Inc. into ROR, also in a way to teach my students a lesson, because I'll think to myself, now all these young students they only a few months in the business, they think they know everything. I should call all these people like Prabhu and Julia and all these mean people come in, right, to show them what's what. Yeah. So that's also the dynamic I've been having at ROR, and then I'm proud that this will be on day one and this will be broadcasted on Japanese network, Japanese TV, because this is that next step for Earth Urfi and Ahmad Arif to, like take their rivalry Showtime Inc. on. Then as for day 2, right, Urfi is in another huge match. So the co-main event of day 2 is all 4 promotions match. First time ever also. We have from Dragon Gate, we have Ho Ho Lun teaming up with the Crypto Bro LK from GrappleMAX. And they are taking on the Southeast Asian champion SPW Aiden Rex and pairing with Urfi in this match. So if you ask me, right, just very honestly, from the heart, right, how Urfi is going to fare in this match with 3 other top guys who've been around like forever. Aiden Rex, I think, like 10 years. Crypto Bro coming 10 years. Oh, in fact, Crypto Bro and Aiden Rex started at the same time. Ho Ho has been around like 20 years or God knows how long he's been in the business. So if you ask me, right, this match, right, I think Urfi is going to come out. He's going to suffer like hell. I'll be watching from the curtain. I'll be laughing. They're going to like chop him. I already told him the other day. I say, like Ho Ho Lun is not the same Ho Ho Lun you saw at Vice. I think he went back to Dragon Gate and his bosses probably scolded him for losing to you at Vice. So like something different. They're gonna hantam him. I even told like Crypto Bro also. I say, you and me friends long times. We are both coaches. I need you to coach my student in this match. Just take him to school.
Oh boy.
So the ROR guys on the show really, right, they are there really to kena wallop by all these experience. So that when they come back to ROR, right, they will have like this tougher mentality, and then they will like help the next generation.
Yeah.
After that, it's a paternal instinct Now I'm a dad, so I think like that. The best way to discipline the foster children, the ROR children, right? Really, you send them to the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You just kena.
As someone who's been in the ring with Crypto Bro, he nice to you, but when the bell ring, that guy can whack his elbow to the back of my neck. Still think about it 5 years from now.
Exactly. Like, on day 1, we have Brother Bai versus Crypto Bro. And then their match, the rivalry is because Brother Bai is a foreign talent here on the S-Pass. So he's been paid like at least a certain amount of salary, and he's upset that people are telling him to buy computer money. And then he scolded Crypto Bro. He called him a bastard and all that. And then Crypto Bro got offended. He said, why you call me bastard? I call you son of a bitch, you like. So then now they're going to fight on day 1. Because one guy is representing the future of money, online cryptocurrency. And then another guy is like deep set in the you must have high salary and you must go other people's country and take their salary. So that'll be an interesting dynamic. I think they're going to talk for a bit before the match and all that to give some background why they're fighting. So the one same thing as well. Brother Bai, he asked me, how's a Crypto Bro like and all that. Then I say, bro, I hope Crypto Bro wallops you, bro. I hope he takes you down like chala, no. This is not like, it's very easy to be like your typical promoter and go onto podcasts and interviews and say, my team, we're going to do our best, we're going to show up, we're going to win and all that. But seriously, man, I want them to go there and really get the beatings of their lives, from all this. Just put through like the out of the saucepan into the fire, that kind of thing. Like not even induction cooker, gas cooker, and then we got to burn it down. So that is the first day match also. Yeah.
I feel this is another selling point for fans who are thinking of buying the ticket. If you want to see a bloody murder happening this weekend, please go see this event.
Correct. Because like it is what it is, interpromotional matches, sometimes they always say it's balance, but let's be very real here. The most technically superior people and strongest people on the card are the Dragon Gate guys. So even us as the Singapore guys, right, I already told like Statement as well, because Statement versus Big Boss, right? So Statement has actually fought Big Boss before in an SPW event in the past. Back then he used to be called Big R Shimizu. Now he's Big Boss Shimizu. Something good must have happened to him for him to start calling himself a big boss.
Leveled up.
But Statement and I are old friends for many years, and I think this kind of thing, right, I don't even need to tell Andrew Tang. He knows what to do already. And somehow he got Big T by his side. The two of them, they know what to do. Don't give chance. Big Boss is obviously stronger than us. Just you have to like show them Singapore style. And don't come and come here and say that Singapore style is we work hard, meritocracy and all that. We all know the truth. The two of you all know the truth. I know the truth. Singaporeans, right, if we can cut corners and find the best way to win and claim the credit, right, that's what we are going to do. Because we are smarter than the average. So I hope that the Singapore wrestlers wrestling in the big matches like Statement, DJ Carl, Aiden Rex, all these fellas, right? We really need to have a strong game plan. We don't live in a dojo. We don't train wrestling all the time like these guys do. We don't have shows all the time like these guys do. We have to beat them with our brains, with our Singaporean brains. Yeah, so that's one thing we need to look out for.
Are there still tickets available, by the way, for the show? And where can people get these tickets if they want to go?
There are still tickets available. So there are different ways to get tickets. One is to go onto PTix, the PTix app or the PTix website. It's Dragon Gate Day 1 on PTix and Dragon Gate Day 2 on PTix. Two separate events that we put up on PTix. But this is Singapore wrestling, and everyone knows that in Singapore wrestling it's very easy to get tickets. You can always message the promoter. You can message me on @Eurasian Dragon Instagram, or you can message Ring of Rebirth @Ring of Rebirth on Instagram, or you can also message any of the Singaporean wrestlers on the card. If your friend, if you also went to school with DJ Carl like I did, then go message DJ Carl. If you are Earthy's boyfriend or something like that, you want to come and see your ex-boyfriend get whacked, then you message your ex then come and watch him. If you are someone that was food delivered to you by Ahmad Arif, message Ahmad Arif. Saying iyak or message the Statement, this kind of things. Or if you spend a lot of time at restaurants with Big T, then find Big T. This is what it is. You can find any of the local wrestlers. It's very accessible. The local wrestlers have been helping to move tickets to their friends as well. So still got some tickets for both days. I think because this is something that is pretty new for local fans, and Dragon Gate is not established here in Singapore yet. So a lot of fans are still on the fence whether or not to come. So I have basically been hard selling tickets the past 2 months of my life, just like telling people, you must come and watch Ring of Rebirth. Why you must come and watch? Because all the Singapore All-Stars will be there, and the Dragon Gate will also be there, and then like this and that, and then like the same stuff I've been talking to you guys about. I've just been talking about this for the past 2 months. So hopefully if y'all are watching the stream and you haven't gotten tickets yet, I know quite a few of you watching the stream have actually gotten tickets. So thank you for that. Really, really honored by your support. But I think we need even more support. So go and tell your friends, tell your families, tell people you like, tell people you don't like also. Just come only. And don't forget also buy all the beer from the beer retailer. Eat as many tacos as you want. And when it comes to the cookies, right, buy all the cookies. Eat everything. Then we launch a complaint together.
Okay, there you go. Bro, I can't wait for this weekend. I think it's going to be so much fun. And once again, like I keep saying, but it's so true, right? Like local wrestling is the best it's been in a long time, and I'm excited for it. I can't wait. Bro, do you want to say anything before we, let you go?
Yeah, we just got featured on Pro Wrestling Insider.
Oh, okay.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated, sorry. Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Oh, wow, really?
Wow.
I don't think, I'm not sure if a Singapore company has ever been featured on Pro Wrestling Illustrated. But then again, it's because of the Dragon Gate partnership. So we give credit where credit is due. So that story was just uploaded just before I came onto this podcast. So I was actually wondering about, do I market the fact that we got an article on the website or in their magazine first, or do I talk to you first? But of course, talk to you first, more important. So we got featured there. If you want a bit more backstory over what's been happening in Ring of Rebirth, you go to YouTube, you just type in Ring of Rebirth, watch our stuff. The 5 episodes that were aired last year and early this year, that's basically a primer as to who our characters are. Of course, if you are gearing up for All-Star Singapore show, don't forget to also go to Singapore Pro Wrestling and GrappleMAX on their social media, their YouTube, catch some of their matches, see what their guys are up to and all that. So at least you have a bit of a primer as to what to expect against for this weekend, what you're going to see represent Singapore against the Japanese top guys. And then, of course, Dragon Gate, their YouTube has free-to-air stuff. But if you want a more comprehensive look at Dragon Gate, you go into the Dragon Gate network and subscribe. I think I've done selling most of my stuff. I think most importantly, you want to go all the social media stuff, all that, that's great. But I would really appreciate it if you just went to PTix and bought tickets, or if you message one of us to buy tickets. It can be any of us, because the ticketing system all still done by the same person. So just message any of us. That same admin guy will be deducting tickets from it. So please, join us this weekend for Dragon Gate versus Singapore All-Stars, Day 1, Day 2. It's at the Eurasian Community House. That's at 139 Ceylon Road. It's on the 2nd floor, the multi-purpose hall. Saturday is at 4 p.m. and Friday is at 7:30 p.m. Do take note. Friday it's a time show. Saturday is kind of like a matinee show so that the rest of y'all can go for dinner after that with your families and have fun. And the rest of us can be wheeling people like DJ Carl and the ROR students out in the wheelchair from the venue.
Okay, I think I know why we have Eurasian Dragon on the show a lot. It's because anytime we need to promote, he just whack all the information. He knows it off the top of his head. We can just sit back, chill, let him do what needs to be done. Like, I don't have to go and like try to remember this. I love it. It's always a pleasure, Eurasian Dragon. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us, man.
No problem. I would have loved to have stayed to talk about the AEW pay-per-view with you guys, but unfortunately, I did not watch the pay-per-view. I just saw the highlights.
Yes.
And I still have a 2-month-old daughter to take care of. It's her 2-month birthday today.
Congratulations,
Happy
by the
birthday!
way.
Thank you. So the best way to say happy birthday to my daughter is by buying tickets to the show, because I obviously, as the boss, am getting a cut of the ticket money. Yeah. So if you buy tickets to the show, you are also buying a present for my daughter. You're paying for milk powder, you're paying for diapers and all that. So please buy tickets to the show so that Dragon Gate will keep coming back, Singapore All-Stars will keep like forming and having all these dream matches, and most importantly, so that a young baby can survive in this world.
When you put it that way, how can you not buy a ticket? Like, you'd be a terrible person if you didn't buy a ticket. Am I right?
Terrible if you never buy a ticket to watch the Ring versus Singapore All-Star show. Don't go to the call, going straight to hell, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Dragon, we'll see you this weekend, and all the best for this weekend. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you this weekend.
It'll be a lot of fun. Take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Take care, man. Thanks for hanging out with us here today. All right, so there you have it. The Eurasian Dragon. Once again, this weekend is the big event, Ring of Rebirth, Dragon Gate versus Singapore All-Stars. Man, I cannot wait. I'm running out of breath. Both because I'm excited about this weekend and also the Bali Belly.
Yes, tell me about this Bali Belly, bro, by the way.
Okay.
Take care, Eurasian Dragon, because I realized you haven't disconnected yet.
Yeah, no, but... So the Bali Belly is this thing, right? And it's been around for a very long time already. Basically, the water in Bali is not very drinkable. In like tap water, it's not like Singapore. Like, we take this for granted, right? In Singapore, you switch on a tap, you can drink the water, no problem. In a place like Bali, you go and drink that water, you're asking for bacteria, you're asking for E. coli, you're asking for the lao sai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about like you eat a McSpicy, you have a bit of wet stew kind of lao sai. No, I'm talking about you are down for the count for the entire week type of shit. So I caught the bug halfway through and we were very vigilant, bro. Like, we legit, we did not freaking drink any tap water, obviously. Everything bottled water. Like, most of the food we ate were from like nice restaurants lah, that kind of thing. But we still kena lah, bro.
Wow, but the thing is, you mentioned something about the ice, right? The ice is the hidden weakness, right?
Yeah, so, okay, it could be a thing where, like, yes, you only drink bottled water, but if a restaurant uses tap water to make ice, alamak, then that's how you can get the bacteria into your belly. And it could be one of many things, like, who knows, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. So for the past few days, I've sort of been, like, watering the porcelain throne. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how to put it delicately. There's no way.
Do you take pochai or not? Pochai is like the life hack, right?
I had pochai, I had charcoal pills, all no use. No use, bro. I had to go for some hardcore shit. Second, I got back to Singapore, visited the doctor. I did that yesterday, so I'm actually technically on MC. And that's why I'm super short of breath when I even just talk, which is kind of crazy if you consider like you guys know us by now, right? Like, you watch
always
the podcast.
High energy, Mr. Yap.
Yeah, like, I got the high energy, but now, like, I talk for a bit only, I'm like, I gotta catch my breath, bro. I gotta catch my breath. So it is what it is. Anyway, once again, everybody, thanks for hanging out here. So we just had the Eurasian Dragon. We're chatting to him about this weekend's local wrestling. But now let's get to the review of AEW. And actually, the past 2 weeks, because there's a lot of stuff to catch up on. Just off the top of my head, the rumor is that Vince McMahon was the one who made the call for Brock to face Omos. Did I hear that rumor correct?
It has been reported as true. it's been reported as not that he was the one that recommended him or booked the event, but I think Brock was given like a list of potential opponents, and chief among that number one is Bray Wyatt, and apparently he turned that down. You know, right?
Well, I wonder why. Remember when Bray Wyatt first came back and we were like, oh, remember the match he had with John Cena? It was so avant-garde. And I feel like some people, while very talented, you need to sort of, sit down and tell them sometimes your shit doesn't work. Sometimes your shit is too out there. And I feel like Bray has crossed that line of this might just be overdoing it. And, I don't know. I try to think back to when we used to watch The Undertaker, and some of the stuff that he did was a little bit out there, right?
Correct.
But at no point did I go, the fuck is this? Maybe, the only time I can think of me watching something on wrestling and going, what the fuck? It's for example, I don't know if you're old enough to remember when Ultimate Warrior started having goo coming out of his head. He had a feud with Jake the Snake.
I remember he with Papa Shango, but I don't know whether it's the same.
Yeah, Papa Shango. Yeah. I think it was on the Snake Pit where Papa Shango cursed him, and then black tar started, falling out of his head and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you lose a bit of your imagination. Like you can't really it's too far-fetched lah.
Yeah. Well, then again, you have Undertaker getting buried, coming back from the dead. So I don't know. Maybe we were younger. We bought into that shit a little bit more back then.
But the thing is, somewhere along the lines, Undertaker evolved into that he's a legit wrestler. He can perform. But the thing is, I think the problem with Bray Wyatt is very simple. He's not in the ring enough. So we can't really relate to him as a performer as much as Undertaker, in my opinion.
And here's the thing, Bray is not it's not that he's bad. He's decent enough in the ring, right? So I don't understand. I have they created this character that? But see, the thing is, Undertaker also had that undestroyable, indestructible vibe for many, many years. What? So how come that worked, but not Bray? Because you had him lose too many times?
Yeah, but maybe the thing about Bray is he trusts the audience too much to go along with the story, but he hasn't rewarded his audiences for following along. The only time he did was White Rabbit.
Oh, right. And even then, you know what I mean? And a lot of the conversation on our Discord has been about where is this going? What is he doing? This Uncle Howdy thing and all this is dragged on so long to a point where it's it's no longer suspense. It's get this over with. I don't care anymore, right?
Yeah, correct. Correct. So the thing that is hard is you want to support him. You want to see his story hit WrestleMania. Remember they said there's some long time storyline that they book all the way to WrestleMania, but I don't think that's the case, bro. I think they're really booking on the fly with Bray Wyatt right now.
So currently his trajectory is Wyatt's versus Bobby Lashley. Or something with Lashley lah, which is not the match we wanted because Bobby is the last person you need. We've talked about this before. He's the last person to react to all this supernatural stuff because his acting cannot make it.
Yes, correct.
So, we have that. And then we have Brock versus Omos. I get it. Brock didn't want to do all the supernatural bullshit. Even though remember we said him reacting to all this supernatural bullshit might actually be very funny. But I guess he was fuck it lah. I don't want to do all this bullshit. I'll just give me Omos. And honestly, is there even a point of Brock putting over Omos?
No, it's just going to be a WrestleMania spectacle. I think that's the whole point of it, right?
Yeah, but at least, with someone like Lashley versus Brock or Braun versus Brock, any of the other big men versus Brock, at least you know that big men can wrestle, can look good selling and doing the thing. We've seen in the past, Omos just, after the initial spectacle, that's it already. He doesn't really have the facials. He doesn't have the intensity. I don't know. I feel like this might be a 2-minute squash match for Brock.
Man, but do you think it's a waste? It's such a waste of Brock, right? Using him.
You have this contract. Okay, you have one more match. Come on, let's put him up against somebody. Fucking have him go up against one of your up and comers or something. Write some storyline along those lines. No, it's Omos. All right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Rishi says that Undertaker's unbeatable aura was really in the later years when he was a bona fide main eventer. Right now, Bray is just treading water. Actually, if you remember Undertaker's history, he started out as the unbeatable zombie. Literally nobody could beat him. Then he shockingly beat Hulk Hogan, well, with the help of Ric Flair. I don't know if you remember the tombstone onto the chair.
God, yeah. I remember buying a DVD of the history of Undertaker. That was in 2007, and that was the first match. Yeah. First match I remember very clearly.
No, but see, Undertaker was presented as unbeatable from the start. Bray has lost, has won, has lost, has won. He was invincible, then got set on fire, then sometimes can beat some. Like, I think the problem is inconsistency more than anything.
Yes. Correct. So, how do you present somebody as beatable or like unbeatable when he loses all the big matches?
Yeah.
Right?
And then versus other people, versus some people, wow, you can kill him with fire or he still come back. But then versus some people, he lose very fast. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and he can't bring back Firefly Flying because he's stale at this point. So like those things we don't really care about. We wanted something new, right? So I thought Uncle Howdy was new. There's gonna be some intrigue. But again, now Uncle Howdy is just like his best friend wrestling for him. So a bit tough lah, yeah.
Oh, Irvin brings up a very interesting point. And also, Jason, what's up? Thanks for joining the podcast. Irvin says, I have a feeling Brock wants out so he can face John Jones in the UFC. Oh, that is the money fight, right? Because John Jones just made his heavyweight debut. He returned to the UFC, won the title. And he is looking chonky AF, John Jones, right now. I haven't seen that match yet, but holy hell. Jones versus Lesnar. Are you Yeah, that would be a huge money match. Dana is... But then again, can Brock pass USADA or not? That's
another story, bro. How long ago was that when he came back and then he kena fired again?
I can't remember already lah. But he also had the issue with the diverticulitis. So I don't know if he is in fight shape. But yeah, like for the paycheck, screw it lah. Just do it for the paycheck, right? I'm sure Dana will pay for that. So there you go. Even Tovakin says he's tired of Bray stuff. So yeah, there's definitely a ceiling to Bray stuff. I mean, when you consider the fact that like you have people like LA Knight who clearly deserves a spot somewhere. Like how about LA Knight versus Brock? Like, yeah, sure, let Brock beat the fuck out of LA Knight, but at least the promos, the lead up, at least give LA Knight a bit of a shine before going into WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, I don't know whether you saw last Friday's SmackDown.
No. And okay, just for a quick context thing, right? Since I left Singapore, went to Bali, I have not watched any wrestling until I watched Revolution yesterday. And I didn't even finish watching Revolution. I still have the main event of Revolution to watch. But we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But I've only seen highlights.
The point I wanted to bring up was because there was this one segment where a whole bunch of so-called upper mid-carders were like in the ring and talking about who should face Gunther, right?
Yeah.
So Drew McIntyre came out, he threw his shot, and then suddenly Sheamus come out. He's like, "Hey bro, why you potong jalan? Why you want to challenge Gunther?" Then they both have like a disagreement, and then bro, LA Knight interrupted the two of them, and there was a huge pop, bro, guys. He's over, man. The crowd wants to see him do well. So it seems like LA Knight is throwing his head into the Intercontinental title seat right now.
Oh, okay. So what I see, I've seen from the clips anyway, it seems like there's going to be like a whole bunch of contenders for the Intercontinental title. So are we looking at like a ladder match or something? It makes sense, right? Because you have Sheamus, you have Drew, you have LA, obviously Gunther, the champion.
No, the plan is this coming SmackDown, they're going to have like a 5-way match. Winner will face Gunther. So the one that you saw. So you're going to have Cross, you're going to have Kofi Kingston, you're going to have LA Knight. Good. Then you're gonna have Drew and Sheamus. So let them all battle it out lah. But my money is, I think Drew McIntyre should be the one lah.
Probably, but then what do you do with the rest of them at WrestleMania? Poor thing, Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Apparently, Triple H doesn't want to have like a long bloated card this time around. So yeah, maybe we shall see lah. Some people might get left out the card, which is such a shame lah.
Oh, also. Is The Miz hosting? Did I see that correctly?
Yes, you saw that. They could choose any Hollywood actor. You remember they got what's his name? Mark Wahlberg to do the intro for last year's event.
Well, okay, I'm sure they can get an actor to do the intro lah. But as the host, like, I'm sorry lah, but you know I think that Miz is one of the most underrated guys, right?
Yeah.
But right now he is so not relevant. I feel he hasn't been hot
Such a shame. Yeah.
in a
Yeah,
long time.
His most relevance was like a year ago when he won a title for one day.
Yeah,
Remember?
and like yeah, exactly right. And right now he has that when he comes out, it's like, oh, you are here. Pop. There's no heat, there's no boo, there's no cheer. It's just, oh, you are here. Like, you know, I feel like he needs to go away legit for a while, right? Like, why not give that spot to LA Knight? We know he can promo like a mofo.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I think WWE has their favorites that they want to push. I'm not saying Triple H has his favorites. Triple H, of course, has his favorites, but based on clout, right, what should be the right thing is to get the most over people to be the host. I wouldn't even mind Logan Paul hosting the show and then doing his match. Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, but we all know he has that match with Seth Rollins. But yeah, well, we'll talk about all the WrestleMania stuff as we get closer and closer to it. But okay, what else did I miss while I was away? Okay, so Tony Khan, once again, very awkwardly announced a new third hour, but not Dynamite, thank God. No, they have an all-access show behind the scenes. Kind of like the Cody Rhodes, that show, like, remember, what was it called? Roads to the Top?
Yeah, Roads to the Top. Roads to the Top, yeah. It's basically a backstage show lah. It's not gonna be like a ratings draw.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember a few weeks ago, I had the idea. Why not for Raw? Right, 2 hours of like in-ring live wrestling, and then the third hour do some sort of a reality show. Hey, did Tony Khan listen to the podcast? Go, that's a freaking great idea, Mr. Young and Foreign. Let's use that for AEW. Okay, no, I kid, obviously, right? But here's the thing, like. When I say reality show, I mean like a freaking, like, I've been watching a lot of Netflix reality shows right now. And the reason I've been watching a lot of it, I dare say I would rather watch that trashy shit over wrestling sometimes is because the production is so good. Every episode leaves you on the edge of your feet, edge of your seat rather. You're like, what's going to happen, right? So that's the type of vibe I'm going for when we talk about a reality show.
I get what you mean.
Not this all access. You see backstage, Nick Jackson hugging a dog. You see Britt Baker kissing Adam Cole. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what do you think about?
It's gonna be total divas lah for AEW. Essentially, that's what it's gonna be.
But
right?
hang on. If it was Total Divas, I actually wouldn't mind because Total Divas was a well-produced, cliffhanger-esque show. Like, oh, Paige said something to Carmella plays song. And of course, every time you see Carmella, like, she's in the skimpiest outfit possible. Like, I see that as a ratings draw, yes. But, oh my... Bro, I'm running out of breath already. I thought about Carmella, I ran out of breath. But
okay.
It's the Bali Belly. I'm selling the Bali Belly.
Let's calm you down.
Yeah.
It will be very interesting because, right, imagine if Saraya is featured on this all-access show. Doesn't that make her the first cross-promotional reality TV star?
Maybe.
For both promotions?
But also, I feel like, you know, these sort of things, right, they have to be taped in advance. So it will be at least like 3-4 months late. So there is no continuity, right? And you know they are just going to be like, oh, just showing them just hanging out backstage. Like, you know, it's going to be like Roads to the Top. I guarantee you, bro. And it's not going to work because you are killing your own product by, let's say you have two people feuding and then backstage you're hugging, eating together. I feel like it's going to be that, just like Roads to the Top. And I get that they think that we know wrestling fans are smart lah. Wrestling fans know what's going on one lah. But to have it right after the wrestling show, I think that's fucking dumb.
It's a bit, it's tough lah. It's okay, like, getting the third hour is of course great for Tony Khan, right? Great for AEW, more sponsors, blah blah blah. But they should do what WWE does. Like they had 2 hours of Raw, and then their third hour they had like Steve Austin takes on America. You know Stone Cold Unleashed. You know, it's like a wrestling adjacent TV show.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the product. It complements the product, like a Tough Enough or things of that nature. I'm not a fan of how Tony Khan used it as a tactic to gain ratings. So because apparently that particular episode did like over 1 million, did like one of their best ratings.
Which episode?
He just the episode that he teased that major announcement and nothing happened.
But we've seen the numbers. If you've seen the numbers, their ratings, especially as the night goes on, it's a cliff. It falls off a cliff, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're not doing well. So the ratings going into this all access show probably will like freaking go even lower.
Yeah. The tactic that Tony Khan used was that he only announced that so-called announcement, major storyline in the last quarter of Dynamite. So actually the ratings stayed steady and even increased as people were actually waiting. So what I'm saying is, I hope Tony Khan doesn't use this tactic all the time.
You know,
Especially if it's the news is not important.
Yeah, no, it's a one-off, like to pop the rating, whatever lah. Oh, and of course, yes, best booker of 2022. Thanks for reminding me. I knew there was something. Like, guys, I have the Bali belly, so I'm not even gonna spend energy on this. We all, even the most diehard AEW fan, can say that this is a little bit biased, right? Really, the booking. You know what? I'm not even going to say anything. I think the fans have spoken themselves.
We've spent too many hours on this podcast talking about it, about Tony Khan, whether he deserves it or not. But what's funniest about this particular award nomination this year around?
What's that?
Bro, Dave Meltzer even had to comment in his own newsletter. He had to put a blurb underneath it that he himself disagrees with the vote.
So, I mean, hey, he's been serving the Kool-Aid for so many years. He's created a monster.
Yeah, I think he realized Tony Khan don't want to be his friend anymore. He's like, fuck this guy, I'm gonna talk shit about him now.
But then the Kool-Aid that he's fed to all his fans, his readers, they've totally bought it hook, line, and sinker. Okay, so that aside, I want to say that like I said, I haven't been watching wrestling for at least almost 2 weeks already, right?
Yes.
And this, I don't know, maybe you want to consider this a Mr. Young face turn, but I feel like I've found the way to truly enjoy an AEW pay-per-view.
Okay.
Don't watch the weekly product. I've completely stopped watching Rampage because it is a useless show. It's a literal waste of my time, right? I would rather be watching Netflix or just sleeping. I didn't watch Dynamite for 2 weeks. Going into Revolution, I was like, okay, like you just give me the promo packages. I can try to go along with the storyline. And then, of course, I see on social media, there was this clip of Action Andretti doing some fucking crazy thing on a ladder was it on a Dynamite?
Yeah, it was on a Dynamite, yeah.
Again, I beat this point to death. I beat this horse to death. But my God, if every day you are having Wagyu steak, very soon, rice is actually going to taste better than Wagyu steak. You know what I mean? Like, and you have jobbers, literal nobodies killing themselves on TV to a point where when your main eventers do it, it doesn't matter anymore. So I think that was, okay, my biggest problem with Revolution was exactly that. It's the same problem they've had from day one. It's like playing a game, playing GTA on cheat mode. Everything can do. Your character can fly, infinite amount of money and ammo. At the end of the day, you're not going to appreciate what you have and don't have, right?
Yeah. My main issue is that they chose Andretti to do it. And he's not experienced enough. Maybe he can do it, but why you want to trust like a rookie? Like, can you imagine John Cena 2002 doing a huge ass Money in the Bank ladder spot?
No, but here's the thing. He, let's say he's done it 10 million times on the indies and he can, right? This would be the same as having Takamichi, no disrespect. It would be the same as having Taka or Spike Dudley doing this on a Raw. Why are you taking the shine away from your Steve Austin, your Rock? That makes no sense to me. Tony Khan needs to stop being that guy that, okay, everybody can do whatever you want. Just do. It takes away the focus, the shine from your true main eventers.
He should stop booking like a mug. I think that's the problem with him. He likes to book things that, if you play GM mode, we want to have the best. We're going to have Hell in a Cell every single week, bro.
Yeah,
right?
Bro. But if you actually watch Hell in a Cell every week, you will get so tired of Hell in a Cell, you'll be like, I'm praying for a normal match, please. And to me, that was my vibe going into Revolution. And we will get to it. But do you want to bring up anything before we jump into Revolution?
Not really. I mean, the bloodline is going along really, really well.
We won't jump back into WWE lah, because we'll have a lot of time to speak of the WWE stuff in the next couple of weeks leading up to WrestleMania.
but-
you know.
But just one point about like how I feel like AEW should be using this time to take advantage, trying to take viewers away from WWE, because Road to WrestleMania, right, means even the lapsed fans are watching back wrestling right now to find out what's going on. They have an opportunity to get people to talk about their product, but they are not taking advantage of it. That's the problem.
No, because they are not creating compelling storylines. They are just doing crazy shit. But all right, here we go then. Let's go to Revolution. The first match that I watched, I didn't watch the pre-match, obviously. Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho. Oh, by the way, I see a theme in this entire card. I don't know if it's a me thing. Tell me once we finished everything if you saw the theme as well, right? But Ricky Starks, Chris Jericho, JAS banned from ringside. I mean, the lead up, we've talked about it before lah. It was like, right? It wasn't a bad match by any stretch of the imagination, but Ricky Starks finally gets the comeuppance, gets the win, you know? What did you think?
They had a hotter match on the first Dynamite of the year lah. That was when the rivalry hasn't peaked yet. It still felt fresh, and Ricky Starks just came off that great like one-off feud with MJF, which I thought was such a way they didn't build on that. Here, it feels like the rivalry should have ended three weeks ago. You know, it feels like a epilogue. So I'm happy, you know, Ricky Starks can finally move forward past Chris Jericho. But bro, I think Chris Jericho should be where he is right now. Opening match, starting out the card on AEW. I don't think he should be higher right now.
Getting people to sing along to his music just to pop the crowd, I was just about to say, you know, at this point, it feels like every JAS, every Chris Jericho feud goes on too long, which is sad for me to say.
Yeah, Chris Jericho he doesn't know when to say no lah, or like when to end the feud. I think that's his bigger problem, because he likes to overindulge himself, which we all agree, as great as he is, he's those kind of artists that can't be left to their own devices. Yeah,
he needs a little like, okay, no, we'll just end it here. You did well already. You peaked already. Let's not drag this out, right? No, exactly. So yeah, Ricky Starks gets the win over Chris Jericho. Then you have Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Christian Cage in... okay, talking about another feud that should have, like... What happened? Did Luchasaurus like leave the company or something? Is he injured? Like I don't actually. You know what? I don't know, and I don't care, because not having seen him for a while was probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'm happy he's not involved.
Yeah, but then okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. Christian Cage comes back. You know, his hand in the sling and everything. Attacked Jack Perry. We did a TikTok about it with the spray and everything. And I'm sure they just went back and forth. And then so this is the payoff lah.
Yes, correct. The issue is not the fact that they took so long to pay it off. I mean, we understand the circumstances.
Injury. Yeah.
Christian got injured and stuff like that. But I feel like they tried to heat it back up very, very fast and suddenly go into final burial match.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like they should have just done a normal match, and if they wanted to end it with a concerto, I think it's the same thing. But they needed to up the drama and make it dramatic and make it theatrical by having, for some reason, Jungle Boy trying to do an Undertaker.
Huh?
So, yeah, because, okay, you didn't watch the last couple of weeks of Dynamite, right?
Yeah.
He did a promo where he was digging Christian Cage's grave. Like, he was literally at the graveyard and digging, and like, Undertaker promo lah. Undertaker digging graves. Right?
No, okay, sure. The Undertaker digging a grave, that makes sense. Why does Jungle Boy Jack Perry digging a grave make any sense? Like, he's... Like, I don't understand. Like... It doesn't fit his vibe at all, right?
The analogy being that, you know, because Christian keep talking about his father and like, you know, talking shit about his dead father. And then he said, you know what, if you like to talk about my father so much, why don't you join him 6 feet under? And that was the promo.
Wow. Okay. I see the connection now, but it's still, like I said, like it makes no sense for these two. Because... and another thing is because their feud originally was already convoluted AF. Remember, with the Luchasaurus flipping back and forth, and then now Luchasaurus is not even a part of this feud anymore. So it feels like, and part of it was because of injury, but it feels like a reheated. It's like when you go and buy a delicious meal and you eat half of it, but then you keep the other half, and put it in the fridge for a few days and you reheat it, somehow it just is not the same anymore.
Yeah. It's not the same way that, like, at least Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins managed to wrap up their feud before his injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm ready to move on. I think Christian Cage, the only thing I love about it is the fact that he could wear his freaking turtleneck and wrestle in it. I think that was quite funny, bro. That's a kill move.
He cut the sleeves off the turtle. Yeah, that was very funny. But also, this is the other problem I had with this match. Going back to the fact that Tony Khan is overindulging. You don't need another gimmick match in a card full of gimmick matches.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I know. Rishi said long time never see casket matches already, but I was like, it doesn't help the rest of the card, right?
Yeah.
This is not a top tier feud. This is a lower mid card tier feud at best. Why are you watering down the matches to come, knowing you have a Texas death match, you have an hour-long Iron match, which everybody bled, where you have, well, the Young Bucks, because whenever you have a Young Bucks, you have furniture,
Yeah, it's so tough. But one thing I did have to say that I did like the ending of this match. I think after the concerto and when Jungle Boy threw Christian Cage into the casket, is it just me or do you laugh as well when the casket the thing closed and it drop inside?
No, yeah, it was a bit awkward, right?
Yeah, a bit dramatic. But I got a good chuckle out of that. So let's all move on, I guess. So like the Chris Jericho, Ricky Starks feud, it was good while it lasted. I think it's time for everyone to move on.
Yeah, okay, and we move on to a 6-man tag team match for the AEW World Trios Championship. Not gonna lie, I zoned out. It was, call it the Bali Belly or call it the Young Bucks, probably because of the Young Bucks. I mean, look, there's no doubt like Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews, they can hang, right? Like we've seen them in high profile matches on NXT, stuff like that. We know they can go. But this and their intro and everything, like it looks good, like they look freaking amazing. But it's the Elite, the Elite are gonna have the Elite type of match.
Yeah. And it's not just, I thought it's just like because it's against the Lucha Bros previously.
No,
it's House of Black also kena this kind of style. So it's really the Elite dictating the flow of the match.
Yeah, it's them having matches with their friends in their little pocket universe. So I've just, you know what, bro, after going to Bali, I've come to accept things. I shall zen out about them and just let them do what they want to do. It's just a 20-minute match in the middle of a card full of other stuff.
Well, if nothing else, the best thing about this match was the ending, like the fact that House of Black is the trios champion. I am so happy that finally Malachi Black won some gold in AEW after 1.5 years. So good on him for that.
But bro, you know what this is like? This is like Lita and Becky Lynch winning the women's tag team titles. The titles mean nothing.
Well, there is a chance for them to make some meaning out of the titles. I mean, you just had the Elite holding it, but
so if anything, it's hope lah. What we see is hope. Is it?
It's the hope that kills you, bro, but it's also the hope that gets you through the day.
Bro, I'm calling it right now. On Dynamite, you know what they're gonna announce?
No, don't say it.
Bro, I'm gonna say it right now. On Dynamite, best of 7.
I hope Tony Khan is not a Man U fan lah. If that's the reason why he wants to do a best of 7.
bro, I swear, bro. If on Dynamite, they announce best of 7 Elite versus House of Black, and then they stretch it out again, and then the freaking Elite win it back after 7 matches, bro. Okay.
It won't happen.
What are the odds, bro? If it happens, if it happens,
I think the crowd will turn on the Elite, man. I hope they will.
Maybe if they are smart enough, maybe they should do that because they are kind of the heels in this equation, right? The House of Black is over.
Yeah. Do you feel like the Elite is phoning it in though? I do feel like they might be just wrapping it up with AEW.
Yeah. I think that maybe their time with the company is like sort of like, okay lah, we're not getting what we want, we're not getting our way. Tony Khan seems to be seeing the light in a way, so maybe you're right. Like they've sort of been treading water, right?
Yeah, and I feel like if the Elite were to leave AEW, I mean, there's a part of me that sucks because they helped create the company. But actually, all along, it was Tony Khan's company. I think Tony Khan needed to use the Elite's clout to get himself relevant in pro wrestling. So that now that, I mean, if this is Tony Khan taking them in and spitting them out, I mean, that's a Vince McMahon move, lah. So good on him, lah. But maybe AEW is really not all about the Elite. It's about Tony Khan. So I think AEW will survive just fine without them. They have enough other stars, lah.
Oh my God, Bob Jenkins says on the chat, Tony Khan announces House of Black versus Elite, best of 9. Bro, best of 7 was a joke. 9? I wouldn't put it past them, actually. So, yeah, look, maybe really split up the Elite so that they don't have a little boys club, and maybe, like Rishi says, having Kenny Omega there in the singles title picture makes a lot of sense. He still has the ability to do it. I don't know how many more years he has because, his wrestling style and the injuries that he's accumulated.
Yeah, he just turned 40 if I'm not wrong. So I feel like he's really in that Finn Balor, LA Knight kind of like timeline, shorter timeline. Hey, Toverkin and Irvin, I mean, I'm so sorry, man. It's not that I mean to say anything about the result. But, even as a Liverpool fan, I'm actually feel sorry for you guys because like... It was so unexpected, even for me. So I don't even want to make fun of that fact. But bro, best of 7.
Toverkin is a Chelsea fan, so he don't care.
Oh, okay, he don't care. But the one that was triggered is it Irvin?
No, it was Irvin. Best of 20, excuse me, best of 21. You need odd numbers, remember. But, bro, if they really announce that though, it'll be damn funny. I don't know if the Elite will ever make it to the WWE. Maybe only Kenny Omega. I don't think the Young Bucks. I think the Young Bucks are too much. Their reputation. Cody will probably be like, bro, not a good idea, bro. Cody is the main man there right now.
Yeah, Young Bucks can't handle structure, I think.
No, yeah, they got to do their thing, and they're successful doing their thing. So let them do their thing for their audience.
Yeah. So they have their audience. They know what works for their audience, and then okay lah. Just let them be in that pocket lah.
This might be the nicest I've ever been to the Young Bucks. By the
Only because you got freaking some illness, bro. If not, you all out already. 20 minutes.
Only because I'm zenning out because I have the bacteria in me. So, okay, let's move on then. Jamie Hayter defeated Saraya, and Ruby Soho. And, Jamie Hayter is over.
She is over for sure.
Hella over. We all know that this storyline has been bullshit from the beginning, but it is what it is. Like, not having paid attention to it, like coming back to it, I'm like, okay lah, let me just get into it as a fresh pair of eyes. I'm like, okay, so now Saraya is the heel. We got the Outsiders versus the AEW Originals lah.
It's the female NWO that's going on lah. Essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah, they're trying but they don't have the swag to pull it off. I'm sorry. It's kind of awkward.
Not the star power. I mean, does that make Ruby Soho the Hulk Hogan of the group?
They tried, right? They tried with the whole big swerve at the end. I'm like, okay, no, not really. And I don't know, like, I'm kind of done with Saraya. With Toni Storm had a lot of momentum. But then they started aligning her with Saraya, and it just all went down the toilet. Like,
I'm not against Saraya because actually, if you watch the match, I really, really closely pay attention. I thought Saraya did a great job. She was a bit of a ring general in the match. Clearly, she is trying to get rid of some ring rust. I think that's expected. But the problem with her is that she suffers from the Bray Wyatt situation, right?
Yeah.
Too much stop-start pushes, coming back, kind of injured here and there. I'm just happy that she's back wrestling, but I don't really have much expectation of what she's going to do in wrestling going forward. Yeah, so that's why it is.
Probably being the mouthpiece for Ruby and Tony.
Maybe. Or she can be the leader that just does nothing lah. Roman Reigns like that.
Yeah. Well, please don't compare Saraya with Roman Reigns, okay? One has evolved their character. The other one is Saraya.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Still a fan.
Let's move on. Not much to talk about there. Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley.
I know you have a lot to say, but I feel that we can wrap it up even faster because there's nothing much to say that we don't even know.
No, this is the same match that Jon Moxley has with various people. It was bloody. It was gruesome. I take nothing away from the effort they put in, right?
Yeah.
The fork, the barbed wire on the back, literally lynching Jon Moxley, hanging him by the neck.
Maybe that was the point, right? To hang by the
Yeah.
hangman.
By the hangman. I get it, but it's like, I'm like, if you didn't already have a final burial match, if you aren't gonna have a full-on 60-minute Iron Man bloodbath match, like once again, too much in the same night. Like really, if you started watching the pay-per-view from House of Black onwards, maybe this will be a little bit better.
Yeah. I actually zoned out through this match. Because I felt like the moment Jon Moxley started taking the fork, it started stabbing. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be another Jon Moxley match. I don't really care for Hangman, so whatever.
Desensitized already, like. Okay, contrast this with Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania. Do you remember that match?
Yeah,
the
of
one
course.
where Batista tripped on the stairs, the poor guy tripped into the ring.
Oh yeah. Oh dear God, yeah, WrestleMania 35. You mean that?
Yes.
Retirement.
But like that match, you felt it being gruesome, right? Remember there was like the pliers. He ripped was it nose ring or earring off?
The nose ring off, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but I remember that match feeling way more gruesome than this match. And this match was technically more gruesome, but the problem is, as we said before, you desensitize yourself so much. They do the same shit and not even like, once every month on pay-per-view. No, Jon Moxley literally does this almost every week on Dynamite. Okay, the
running joke is he bleeds all the time, right?
He bleeds on cue. He touch him and he start bleeding already,
Yeah, it's so you know how like Chris Jericho has his like very bad habits that he can't help himself. He needs to be the spotlight.
Yeah.
Jon Moxley can't help but bleed. He needs to bleed, I know.
No, he needs to bleed and take things to the nth degree. Like, you know what? At this point, I would be more fascinated by a Jon Moxley pure rules match. ROH pure rules match. I would see that. I want to see that, because it's something he's never done for me in the entire time I've seen him wrestle anyway. You know what I mean? Like,
even if you remember something like Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, everyone remembers the screwdriver through the year.
Yes,
right?
And
it's just one move.
Yeah, it's just one thing. Versus they had to do all sorts of 10 million things. Sometimes less is best. Guys, really, less is best. You cannot keep anyway.
Okay. If they remove everything about the match and just did the brick spot, right? I would have thought it was a gruesome match. Like, holy shit, that brick spot though. But because the brick spot was sandwiched in between so much violence and fucking gore, it's like, okay lah, it was a brick spot lah, but it didn't breathe lah.
Yeah, it was a brick spot. No, that's exactly it. It's sandwiched in between so much gore, sandwiched in between even more gore every single week. To a point where this is like, okay, this is like me when I play like gory games, for example. Like let's say my wife sees me play a game where I, like explode a person, right? She's like, he's so gory. But to me, it's like nothing, because I see this because I play these games all the time. That's exactly the same thing. You're desensitizing your audience. You cannot go any further. You cannot go any gorier outside of scooping somebody's eye out.
My favorite death match AEW has ever done was actually their first death match. Not the one where they explode, the
one they rip the mat open and then they expose the. Oh yeah, because it was fresh, right?
It was fresh. It was the first time we saw Jon Moxley in that environment because he just came out from WWE. He couldn't do all that crazy stuff. It's the first time seeing CZW Moxley.
Yeah.
And Kenny Omega also has never shown that side of him in New Japan. So people were like, can Kenny Omega be as violent and gory as Jon Moxley? So,
Yeah, there was freshness to that style of match. So at this point, honestly, maybe just not have Jon Moxley wrestle on TV. Just have him maybe promo once in a while, cut vignettes and stuff like that. Make him a sort of, like, you know how Cactus Jack was? Like, Cactus Jack in the WWE, they basically were like, Don't bring out the Cactus Jack. He would have his garbage match, but only at important events, once in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like this is how you salvage. But if this is what Jon Moxley enjoys doing, and we all know Tony Khan is the good boss, he just lets everybody do what they want to do, we'll see more of this. And I feel bad because the effort they put in, I respect it, but it's not giving the result that you should want or you should hope
normally
for.
Want.
Yeah, because you are overdoing it.
The problem is we're not going to talk about this match maybe 1 year from now, correct?
No, which is crazy if you consider what they did, right? You know, 1 year from now, you know what we're going to talk about? Roman Reigns, the Sami Zayn turning on Roman Reigns.
Yes, just one chair shot. Yeah. 20 years, it's been 20 years, but everyone is still talking about that one-time Cactus Jack fight, Randy Orton, and Randy Orton fell into that barbed wire where he missed the RKO, remember?
Yes.
The thumbtacks, I mean. So that's just one match from one spot from 20 years ago.
So if you want to do your crazy deathmatch spot, do it, but do it sparingly so that people remember it. By now, look at it. Nobody, I don't remember a single Young Bucks match. I don't remember a single Jon Moxley match because they all blend together at this point, you know?
Oh my God, yeah, exactly. But, you know, long story short, like Hangman won.
Yeah.
And maybe I guess it's the right thing for this feud. And I think if Jon Moxley is going to turn heel, this is a great excuse, right, to do that.
Maybe he should just take a break. I really hope he takes a break.
I hope he goes on a holiday. He's been trying to go on a holiday for a long time, but never seems to go on holiday.
No, let him go for his sake and for our sake also. We need a break from Jon Moxley.
Yeah, we need to miss him just like how, you know.
And freaking Claudio, he's just there. Like, he's just there.
To be fair, they just launched ROH. They finally had their first event this past week. And he was headlined by Claudio versus AR Fox. So I think Claudio is going to exist in that universe in Ring of Honor on streaming.
Okay, you know what? I want a storyline where Claudio rehabs Jon Moxley, makes him do technical wrestling. Can you imagine that? I would love that.
I would love that, bro.
Jon Moxley making angry faces because he's not allowed to bleed. Okay, let's move on. After that match, you give me Wardlow versus Samoa Joe.
Is that really the palate cleanser that you're looking for, though?
No. I don't know lah. Wait. What? I seem to remember the match only for the finish and how flat the finish was.
It was a forgettable match, to be honest. I mean, given the fact that this is Wardlow's return and he's supposed to have a lot of animosity towards Samoa Joe, the fact that Samoa Joe passed out, he passed out or he tapped out? Right?
I think he tapped out. Was it pass out, tap out? Somebody in chat, please remind us. But he did like his Wardlow did like a choke, right, to Samoa Joe, which is Samoa Joe's finisher, the coquina clutch.
Yeah, he did a real naked choke, I think. He passed out. So I felt like maybe this was Samoa Joe's way of putting over Wardlow, but Wardlow needs a lot of help right now for us to get interested in him again.
Too little. Oh, he passed out, Rishi said. Too little, too late. Once again, this is the same thing with the Christian Cage thing, right? The opportunity was there. Wardlow was hot. And then AEW, Tony Khan, best booker of 2022, but for whatever reason, has zero clue on how to capitalize on somebody's heat. If you gave Sami Zayn, if Tony Khan booked Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, right, he would book him straight into the ground. Even Sami Zayn can't even fucking save himself.
Yeah. I want one of the reporters at the BDS Club to ask him, bro, Tony Khan, why you fuck up Wardlow so bad? Like, somebody asked him that question. I want you to answer that.
Not just Wardlow, Ricky Starks, the list goes on. Eddie Kingston, for whatever reason, he just has no idea how to capitalize on people's heat. Remember when the Vice documentary came out about Brian Pillman? That was the opportunity to push Brian Pillman Jr., right? Nope. After he gets beat in his hometown, disappears for weeks on end. Eddie Kingston, he was featured in, was it ESPN or some article?
Yeah, he did a great article.
Yeah, and he was hot. He was like delivering killer promos, disappears. Wardlow gets hot after the MJF thing, fucking goes into a feud against a fake lawyer, fight security guards. Like, this has happened over and over and over again. Like, is he trying to sabotage his own company?
Kingston maybe cannot blame Tony Khan. That one I blame Chris Jericho lah. Because Chris Jericho was the next feud, bro, and he fucked it up like crazy.
Yeah, okay. It is what it is lah. We just accept. See, like, I recognize all the talent. It's just like really the week-to-week booking is just atrocious. Best booker of 2022. Guns versus The Acclaim versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen.
Throwaway match.
Yeah.
Throwaway. What a waste. It should have been The Acclaim versus Guns as a rematch, you know. Why you have to add the other tag teams?
Is the finish the only redeeming factor, or do you think this is just a... Okay, we just use them a few more times before they run their contract out?
I don't know. Because right now FTR was supposedly teasing a WWE signing, but now they are back in AEW. But the Guns initially put FTR out of action for a while, so it makes sense in storyline for FTR to come back and challenge the Guns now that they have the title. But do you still want to see FTR in AEW? That is the main question.
No, I don't. I want them to go back to WWE under Papa H's care, because we all know that Triple H loves FTR.
Yeah, so somebody, I was listening to Good Mike Word, right? And he was talking about how Dex has been on his podcast recently. He has his own podcast, right?
Yeah.
He a bit like, as he called it, a bit of a chatty catty, you know.
He revealed a bit too much, is it?
He a bit TMI lah. He talks a lot lah on the podcast.
Okay.
So like, I feel like, I don't know whether he's trying to play the crowd, trying to like cause dissension, trying to angle for move back to WWE, but it doesn't come across. Okay, maybe the first few episodes came across as like sincere and genuine, but the recent episodes are like he's just trying to like, you know, put himself in a good light and put himself on the shopping cart, if you know what I mean.
Right. So maybe what it is he does that. You know, they bring them back, have them lose, put over the Guns, put over your AEW team. If you have a team that's on the way out and they are a veteran team, you have them work with your young talent and put them over what? Yeah.
Double nothing lah.
Devaluing them, quote unquote, in a way, devaluing them on the way out, right? Or because they go out on the loss, right?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because, you know, FTR should have been the greatest tag team of all time in AEW right now. They should be like fucking like 3-time, 4-time tag team champions.
You know, you have who to thank for that?
I wanted to say Chris Jericho lah, because I will blame Chris Jericho for everything.
No, we know that's not true. It's the Young Bucks.
It's not true. Yes, it's Young Bucks. I understand. Yeah. So can you imagine a world where both the Young Bucks and FTR is no longer in AEW?
That would be hilarious, actually.
Yeah,
because and imagine once again if the Young Bucks were to leave, if Kenny Omega is kind of wishy-washy, AEW Fight Forever, the video game.
Oh yeah. Hey, AEW Fight Forever haven't even come out. Then the Elite leave the company. What is it?
Elite leave, CM Punk leave, friggin' who else? Absolutely, you put Britt Baker on the cover lah, can already.
I think Jake Kage and Britt Baker lah.
At this point, it's AEW Wait Forever, the game, huh?
It's a running joke, bro. It's a running joke.
Irvin says, where is Sean Spears, bro? Sean Spears is married to Peyton Royce, and he has won everything in life. He's won. He's a winner.
Yeah.
He don't need to show up. I don't care.
I think he can retire already lah. He just every day wake up to Peyton Royce now.
It's like, wow, bro. I love that we agree on that.
Agree. I'm loving them Aussie girls, bro. Aussie girls are one kind, right?
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, before we get to the main event, and like I said earlier, I will watch the main event a little bit later today because I was feeling shit yesterday. I'm still recovering from the Bali belly. And okay, while I was in Bali, right, a very quick diversion. I want to talk about, do you know what they're doing on Netflix? There's this new dating show called The Perfect Match. Not new lah, it's been out for about a couple of weeks already.
I don't know. I mean, there's too many dating shows on Netflix.
That's the thing, right? So The Perfect Match, and I see what you're doing, Netflix. Forget about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? They have their own dating show universe happening already. Because at first, my wife downloaded it. You know, you can download shows onto Netflix to watch while you're overseas, right? So I was like, why is this another dating show? Sian lah, stop lah, you know? Like, why you make me watch this trashy shit, right? And then the whole premise of the perfect match is they take all the contestants from all their other dating shows, put them into one dating show. I was like, yo, what?
Wait, what? So that means what? Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, The Circle, The Mole, Too Hot to Handle. So they took like a lot of their most popular characters that maybe didn't win, right? And put them together in one show. So I was watching this, I'm like, oh my God, this is brilliant. Because A, this is like reality all-stars. So you know all of them know how to create drama. And B, it makes me want to go and watch back their shows. Like the new characters, the maybe like, okay, here's an example. There's this one guy in the perfect match. His name is Dom. He's very likable, right? And he was on a show called The Mole. I had never heard of The Mole before. You know what I did for the past 3 days? I watched The Mole because of Perfect Match.
Okay, wait. So The Mole seems a bit sus of a title. So is he supposed to be pretending to be something he's not in The Mole?
Okay, so The Mole is like a game show where you have a bunch of reality. It's a reality show, a bunch of contestants. They do challenges, but one of them is a mole. One of them is actively trying to sabotage. They have to figure out who the mole is throughout the entire show. Every week got elimination one.
And he was the mole?
No, Dom was not the mole. In fact, the two people from the mole were not the mole. But the fact that they brought all these characters from these different shows, I was like, wow. That's your cross. It feels, to me, it feels a little bit like when once in a while you have your NXT star show up on Raw, SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wait, aren't they all from different networks? So
no,
how do the networks like agree?
Netflix. It's all Netflix shows.
Everything all on Netflix.
Love is Blind, The Circle, Too Hot to Handle. All these are technically Netflix shows.
Interesting. Wow, this is a bit of a mind-blowing scenario. They can do a dating cinematic universe, bro.
I know. So it's akin to the wrestling multiverse where you bring in people from different companies, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't say we can blame Marvel because it has been around way before that. So many people do crossovers. Remember there was, I don't know whether you follow Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, of course.
There was an episode where there was a crossover with a new girl. Zooey Deschanel's character came on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Was it her character or was it just her playing a different character?
No. Literally her from the new girl.
Really? Because let's be real, Zooey Deschanel can only play one role.
That aside, bro. I mean, that one is another conversation.
So who says the Mole show was in 2000? No, I'm not talking about the old 2000 show. I'm talking about a new one on Netflix that didn't get any shine. For whatever reason, it was not popular. It's so good. It's so good. Go and watch it. I felt like, anyway, this is what I mean when wrestling should have a reality show. Not freaking all access. Come, we go backstage, see Tony Khan sitting at Gorilla, smiling, talking about how he feels. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that. Stop it, bro. Put a bunch of up-and-coming wrestlers, make them do challenges, do Physical 100. Have you watched Physical 100, by the way?
I've watched an episode of it, yes, as you mentioned me to do.
Bro, how good is it, bro?
It's... Okay, please don't call me racist, but all of them look the same. So it's very hard. It's very hard to know their character. Okay, they all have characters and personalities, but they all look the same.
No. Also, it's hard to remember their names because their names are not familiar, right? It's not names we are very used to. Even Chinese and Korean, like similar, but not really.
Like, okay, what was that show the Hana Kimura was in? They all live in the house.
Shit.
House. Terrace House.
Yes.
Terrace House, yeah. At least that one, like, I feel like because they all got different shapes and sizes and their names are Japanese. So Japanese names I can remember more than Korean names. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Irvin says, remember NXT 1.0? That was their interpretation. Okay, not NXT 1.0. No. It has to be a new evolution somehow. I don't have the answer, but if you go and watch Netflix reality shows, they have the answer. The producers are top notch.
It needs to be like UFC's Ultimate Fighter, I think.
Yes, something along those lines, right?
Like WWE.
Without giving away too much of the business and like, okay, when you go back to the Tough Enough era, right, of those shows, I feel like you could bring back Tough Enough, but like, hey, take it easy, Tovakin. No worries. Do what you need to do.
Don't worry. We are wrapping up soon as well.
Yeah. But the thing with Tough Enough is it happened in an era of reality contestants that didn't know how to work the camera. Miz was one of the few that did. But you remember all of them, I remember them being fucking awkward as shit, right?
Yeah. Josh Matthews, remember?
Yeah.
As a nerdy kid.
So it was kind of cringe to watch. Bro, you watch the reality shows of today. All of them are proper media stars already. All of them fucking rip like nobody's business. That's who you get.
They know how to play the game. They know this is their 10 minutes of fame. They want to get on television.
Yeah. When you watch a reality show and wow, this girl so bitchy. So I'm like, you know that she's working the camera, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not saying that like that is the way forward for the WWE or whatever, but I mean something along those lines. It's changed. The landscape has changed. These people know, these influencers know how to get clout.
Yeah. Throwing this back to the Iron Man match, right, bro? I wanted to ask you something, how it links you back. Like, do you have the attention span, like, right now? I mean, I know you haven't watched it, but do you have the attention span to actually sit through a 60-minute Iron Man match?
I think
like,
it's very
honest
tough.
to God.
It's very tough. Very tough. Considering what we've seen already in a bloated-ass card. As usual, it's good value for money, I get it. But there were too many overlaps in this card for me to want to watch this, like, in one sitting.
Yeah. I feel like, bro, they should have started the pay-per-view with this match.
Wow, okay.
I mean, I know it sounds a bit like, a bit out there, but I felt like if this match was the start of the card and then they ended it with maybe Mox and Hangman, at least there is some breathing space between the nonsense and like the craziness.
Yeah.
And make it the Texas Deathmatch like a lights out match, right? So like it's like technically not part of the event. Because I feel the reason why the previous Iron Man match, remember Bryan Danielson had an Iron Man match with Hangman Page back in late 2021.
On Dynamite. Or was it Rampage?
On Dynamite, yeah. And it was so well received. It was actually legitimately one of the last times I really remember enjoying a match, Iron Man stipulation match, because it started out Dynamite.
Yeah, you didn't have the fatigue of watching a whole bunch of matches before that.
Yeah, exactly. So by the time you have the winner and all that, you got time for it to settle down.
Yeah.
And and I feel this show, like you said, it was so long that by the time the match started out, I was actually legitimately burned out. So I couldn't focus on the Iron Man match until the first fall only came in 20 minutes into the match, by the way.
Right. Wow, okay.
Yeah. So they were doing great chain wrestling. Like here I think the whole point of this storyline was for MJF to prove himself as a wrestler, right? Against Bryan Danielson. So he did match him move for move at the first 15 minutes. But of course, shenanigans started coming into play. They started doing a lot of shit. Interestingly, there was a couple of interesting things I need to point out. They actually gave Bryan Danielson the first fall.
Okay.
So Bryan Danielson actually beat MJF on the first fall, and I can't remember if it's a tap out, but he did his submission move on him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh wow, okay. So now they maybe this is the way to give Bryan Danielson the clout back, he definitely managed to beat MJF in a straight up one-on-one match.
He's the superior wrestler lah.
Yeah, so he managed to prove that, right? But the fun thing was after that, freaking MJF give him a low blow, right?
Oh, so he loses another fall via DQ, but the damage allows him to pick back up some of the pinfalls, is it?
Yeah, so MJF, after his low blow, managed to pin Bryan Danielson twice.
Yeah. No, it's great storytelling in terms of between these two guys. It's definitely something a dastardly heel like MJF would resort to, right?
Yeah, some people really like the strategies of an Iron Man match. My opinion, right? The most boring Iron Man match, to be honest, is actually Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. My opinion.
Okay, to be fair, in those days, especially if you were only a WWF fan, you didn't watch, other stuff. That was the first time you saw it, so that was new lah. But yeah, I know what I mean. Literally 0-0 all the way to the end, right?
Yeah. I love The Rock, Triple H 5-4, and then there's Shawn Michaels as a special guest. Even Cena Orton was interesting because it was 5-6 or something like that. And my favorite of all time is of course Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar on SmackDown.
Yes,
that was amazing. there was real drama there. But I think this match, the strong points was it made MJF for sure. MJF proved his toughness in this match. It gave Bryan Danielson his aura back.
Yep.
Because he was like the ring general throughout the match. My issues with the match, they couldn't let MJF not be a dick heel. Like they had to lean into that, even though I felt this was an opportunity for him to like. It was like a Randy Orton Cactus Jack opportunity, you know?
But okay lah, just to counter that point, right? Isn't that the whole point of like, yeah, we know he's probably not the better pure wrestler, but he gets ahead because he's MJF, he's a dick, right? He's an asshole. He'll say horrible things and he'll do horrible things to win.
Yeah, speaking of being a dick, apparently he legitimately throw like a freaking alcohol or something over a kid.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, so that was funny. So when I saw it live and it was happening, I was like, okay, normal heel move. And then the kid legitimately crying. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, usually those are plants, right? You like get your friend's child, okay, uncle pour drink on you, you pretend to cry, but no, he really go and pour drink on somebody's kids,
Yeah, so, I mean, keeping up to kayfabe, respect him for that. But I do not know whether this match puts him back on track, right? Because at the end of the match, I think they were equal. I think they drew, but then the match ended. And then I think they called for him to go to overtime. So there was an overtime in this match.
Yep.
I do not know whether MJF's aura has been restored based on this one match, but he did a lot to help him recover because his title reign, let's be honest, hasn't been the best.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is the fault of the best booker of 2022. That has nothing to do with MJF or Bryan Danielson. They are just, doing what they're supposed to do, right? And to my point too, like, as much as I knew these two would deliver in this match, like I said, I haven't watched the match, but I knew also going into it, like I had no hype for the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going back to Shawn Michaels, the boyhood dream. Remember the vignettes, Jose Lothario? I still remember Shawn Michaels running up like stadium steps, training for it, and then you got Bret Hart training for the Iron Man match as well. Like I remember all that,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
even last year, don't you remember last year CM Punk and MJF?
Yeah. Oh, I think we both agree, right? Like that was probably the best feud of last year. But this build, that's why I say, if you want to enjoy AEW, just don't watch the in-betweens and just watch the pay-per-view. Just believe the promo packages or when the announcers tell you, oh, these two have been hot at it against each other, and it's just okay. Because they
makes your life easier, bro. You just need to watch 4 shows a year only.
Yeah, and like it's like I say, going into this, I know that they can perform. MJF and Bryan Danielson, right? It's just that that the hype is just not there because the booking has been trash. And also, once again, hurt by the fact that you had a Texas death match, you had a final burial match, you had a 6-man tag match, which was flippy shit everywhere. It's like, wow, it is overwhelming. There's just, and right before that, you had a 4-way tag team match.
I felt like the thing about AEW that's good is that AEW always tries their best to give audiences the best. Like 100% of what they can give. Like it's not enough to just give one match, you need to give like a best of 7, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it caters to audiences who want to be overwhelmed, right? Over sensory overload.
Yeah, no, it feels like they are catering to a bunch of people on Adderall or on some sort of, like a drug that like,
essentially.
Oh yeah, no, we've exactly pinpointed the whole thing. He's catering and booking for himself. Adderall fueled people who just want to see nothing but shit happening continuously. They can't just calm down and let something settle. But anyway,
overall,
I like I said, I haven't watched the main event. I'm gonna watch it today, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm not gonna hate on it. I think I would give it a solid 8 upon 10, which is, I think, might be shocking for some people to hear me say that. I think the Bali Belly has mellowed me out.
So even with the trios title match, even with the tag team fatal 4-way, you're still okay with giving it 8.
Just ignore. Because okay. Do you see the theme?
What's the theme?
Remember, I talked about if you look at the entire card, right, there seems to be a theme here. Chris Jericho, WWE guy, lost to an up-and-coming AEW original. Christian Cage, WWE guy, lost to AEW original Jack Perry. Jamie Hayter beat Saraya. Hangman Page beat Jon Moxley. Wardlow beat Samoa Joe. MJF beat Bryan Danielson. A lot of quote-unquote passing over the torch or putting over the AEW original. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it does seem like the theme here.
I didn't realize until you pointed it out. I think that was a great catch. For that alone, I think I will give this a 7. I was privy to giving this a 6 actually.
Wow. I'm so surprised that you are giving an AEW pay-per-view less than me.
Yeah, I am surprised as well, but I didn't enjoy it as much as you. I felt the long matches drag. The only match to me that lived up to the hype was Iron Man, and that was also barely because like I expect so much out of these wrestlers. Texas Deathmatch was a complete letdown, in my opinion. The camera work. I wanted to see the camera work was actually good. I think someone mentioned about how they zoom in on the blood wounds and blah, blah, blah. That was gruesome, but it just was so much overkill because I watched a similar match last year, CM Punk dog collar with MJF.
Yeah,
less gruesome, but way more compelling, bro.
So
because of the story.
That is the moral of the story. Less is more. Tell a story. Stop trying to throw everything at us.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about Sami Zayn and Montreal, and that's like almost a month ago.
I actually rewatched it. It was so good, I rewatched it. There's no way I'm going to rewatch Revolution, to your point. Okay, you know what? After this conversation, I'm downgrading my my rating to a 7.
No, you already locked it in, bro. 8 out of 10 for you.
Shit. It's the medication talking lah. I cannot be trusted, bro. Haley says there's only so many torches that you can pass before everything burns. Wow, chims, eh.
Bro, Hales, that was deep, man. That's hashtag deep.
So, I mean...
wait, speaking of torch, because Haley Hales, I know, is a known John Cena fan. I wonder what she thinks of John Cena having a torch passing moment with Theory or a torch burning moment on Theory. You know what I mean?
You know what? I actually don't mind. I know this is jumping ahead to WrestleMania stuff, but I don't mind if John Cena beats Theory. But I know it won't happen. I know John wants to
humble him down.
Yeah, humble him down. It's like to give everybody that moment. But along the way, you know that John will make Austin Theory.
Yeah. I'm actually can't wait to see their interaction on Raw. I'm gonna check it out right after this podcast. So,
oh my god, yes!
I don't know.
There's Raw to watch. I just realized. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna watch MJ and Bryan Danielson anymore.
Okay, so those who are still on the chat, can you give us your letter grades? What do you guys think overall of Revolution? You guys enjoy it? Was it a return to form for AEW, or they are still like kind of like stumbling their way through?
What are you talking about, bro? Best book of the year, man. Come on.
Oh man, no, bro. So remember a few episodes ago, I said I've deleted my WWE Network subscription, right?
Let me guess. You deleted your Fight Pass. Is it Fight Pass? Fight. What was it?
I deleted my Fight TV app, bro.
Okay.
So and here's the funny thing. I deleted my WWE Network right after Royal Rumble, but then I renewed it just in time for Elimination Chamber. So I'm back on WWE. So my boredom of WWE only lasted for like 4 weeks, right?
Right. Well, I mean, it is WrestleMania season 2, so I mean, you gotta be here for WrestleMania season. Yeah,
but for the Fight app, bro, I've stopped already. I didn't buy the pay-per-view. I watched it like on streaming, you know, and I didn't watch Dynamite until after the fact on my favorite streaming website, watchwrestling.ai lah. So, so like I feel kind of refreshed because I don't think I'm missing out on anything. Maybe the only way that AEW will get my money back is if CM Punk is back lah. That's my
Right.
my
Or they
thoughts.
start telling compelling stories, but we shall not revisit that. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. It's like past 2:00 already. It's a bit of a meaty episode, so we appreciate you being here. As always, we do have a Patreon page. If you want to take your support to the next level, let's shout out our current Patreons, The Shadow, Rishi, Div Royalty, Irvin, Doc, Saleh. We appreciate it so much. Hey, any amount is an amount that can help us to grow the podcast. Like we've talked about some of our plans before. And of course, all the different tiers have different benefits and whatnot. So link is in the description. Any amount helps, and only, Patreon what you can afford lah.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, those of you who checked out the podcast earlier, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you want to check out some local wrestling this weekend, be sure to check out Eurasian Dragons Ring of Rebirth featuring Singapore All-Stars, featuring Dragon Gate. I think it's going to be a great show for local wrestling. And yeah, DM them for tickets. And I hope you guys do support them as well. We'll try our best to make it as well. And we'll let you know how it goes, the experience on next week. But moving on, bro, like so what's the plan for next week's going into WrestleMania? Because I saw a couple of people on the live chat was asking, oh, foreign not in Mr. Young's building. I have a proposal, Mr. Young.
You have a proposal, okay.
I have a proposal to you. Like, I like our current setup of doing it, from our places, but maybe going after a big pay-per-view, like reviewing WrestleMania, I don't mind doing it together.
Bro, WrestleMania, you gotta be here. You gotta be. Actually, WrestleMania. Actually, I suppose we should settle this offline, but you got me thinking, right? What is WrestleMania like, the date?
Yeah, I believe it's 1st April, 1st and 2nd April, is it?
April Fool's.
Okay, guys, check.
1st and 2nd April, which means it's Sunday morning for us and Monday morning. I take leave on the 3rd of April, bro. And
so you are gonna take leave for WWE WrestleMania?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to take leave, bro.
Okay, let me double check. WrestleMania is 1st and 2nd April, bro. Saturday and Sunday.
Which means Monday morning lah. Okay lah. We don't do it immediately after lah. We do it on the Tuesday. Let the WrestleMania settle in first. But yeah. Feel free to come over and we'll do the WrestleMania.
If you guys are gonna join us on our Patreon, you all will have access to our Discord, and our Discord is always popping. I appreciate those who was watching Revolution over the weekend. Actually, it was yesterday. It was on a work day. God damn it!
Yeah,
so
man.
Not used to Monday mornings anymore. So yeah, please consider being part of our Patreon. You can join us on Discord, and it's gonna be great. Every pay-per-view day, we'll always be talking about it live, right?
Okay, with that, I'm gonna go lie down. Catch my
Yes,
breath.
I'm sure you're tired.
Guys and gals, thank you so much for hanging out. As always, bro, it's good to catch up once again. And everybody remember, Bali Belly is real. Don't be like me, thinking, alamak, all these Angmo complain about Bali Belly because they don't know lah. We're all Southeast Asian. We have stronger gut. No, bro.
It's all the same.
We have weak Singapore gut. We have the privilege of drinking pure, clean water. I go there, kena one time only.
Oh, man. Bro, get well soon, man. We need you back, bro. So get well soon.
Absolutely. Okay, as always, it's Mr. Young.
And Foreign's connection is still in the building, bro. Take care.
Let me see, John.